Key pound.
In a world,
Get the hell up!
where Carolina Panthers fans
Anthony from Charlotte, keep motherfucking pounding.
have an insatiable thirst
I need to see a lot more of that shit going forward.
for Panthers news and opinions.
All my C3 brethren from the C3 Legion.
Only one podcast roars ferociously.
The longest running Panthers podcast on the internet.
It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Oh, Greg, I owe y'all $100, man.
The Panthers are coming off a 42-13 shellacking where the second quarter just got out of hand, and it turns out that being a Panthers fan continues to be out of hand. Heads are rolling. Draft picks that were just in the recent few years, 2 years ago, double E's specific pick. Heads rolling. Seats are getting hot. And now the Panthers, who were positioned to get a little momentum, a little confidence, are trying to find a little footing as they face the Miami Dolphins, and they battle for the bottom of the barrel. Crabs in a bucket pulling everybody down, but they're not pulling me down. They've already pulled me down to the bottom. I'm climbing up. I'm climbing up with my wheelman, Cody Lack. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com, where every Tuesday night we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions. And I got to do it with my homeboys. Cody Lack, I would say good to be with you, but man, it's great to be with you on a Tuesday.
Of course it
Not
is.
great to be a Panthers fan.
Listen, man, others merely adopted the darkness. We were born in the darkness. We know this. We live here. This is where the C3 Panthers podcast thrives, baby. Listen, you already know there's nowhere I'd rather be on a Tuesday night than chilling with my boys, talking Panthers football. Listen, man, Tyreek Hill might have broken a leg, but it doesn't even necessarily seem like the Vegas sportsbook thinks that matters. The Panthers are an underdog at home in their own stadium after an abysmal performance against the New England Patriots. The defense is left reeling. Our play callers are sorrier than they've ever been. And you already have Panther fans wondering if Bryce Young is a bust. Tony Dunn, you know we're going to do this with the best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. It's Adam Roscoe, Bryce Young, Laser, C3 Doug, Drew with the flu. What's up, bro? Easy did that. G Baby, Eleanor Jones, John B. Jenkins, Go Fish, Kristen Butler, Loud Packs Luke, Panther Gal 73, Cardiac Cat 13, The Hope Dealer, and your bastard son, White Chocolate Express. So, Tony Dunn, ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
The number is 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. And man, when things are dark and you live in the darkness, can you find some light? Can you find some hope? Maybe you just need a big bag of Jalen Coker to bring you out of it. I don't know. I don't even think that's enough to make us high, but I will tell you what make me feel great is to hear the voice that makes him moist. CK, the man with the golden pipes. It's great to be with you. You guys are my brothers. CK, it's great to hang out with you.
Man, it's always a good time to be able to hang out with your boys. Not such a good time to be a Panthers fan right now. I was talking to Cody before the show, and I said week 1 and week 2, even after those losses, Monday morning, I woke up feeling like, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was in the moment. I was reacting, and it was bad to see it happen. But after waking up, maybe the defense wasn't as bad as I, was making it out to be on the post game show. Maybe Bryce Young was doing a little bit more than we were giving him credit for. Maybe he wasn't completely at fault for this. Most of this stuff seems to be timing, miscommunication, things that can be fixed. After this game, I woke up Monday feeling like I'm not sure I want to watch any more games. Like, it did not feel better. I didn't feel as though there was anything that I could take from this in a positive way. Quite honestly, the only thing I would say, if you wanted to look at glass half full, is it felt as though everything was one play was the problem, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is
One
like,
special teams play.
One special teams play, and then all of a sudden that threw a wrench in the gears. It was one holding call that took us outside of a situation where we were going to be comfortable enough to, put the ball in the running back's hands. It was, Bryce Young throwing one bad pass that was behind a receiver or over a receiver that ended that drive. It was just every time it was one thing that felt like it was just a comedy of errors. So, like, I think it was just every single side of the football had that one thing happen every time they had an opportunity to have that one thing happen. And so it felt horrible Monday, but it also felt like it was the complete opposite of what we saw happen against the Falcons, where everything went our way that game. Everything went the other way in this game, it felt.
CK, someone on the postgame show said the Panthers in these past 2 weeks were Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
Just literally a tale of two football teams. One, a dominant defense with an adequate offense that could effectively move the ball. Now a team that just looked completely out of sorts, enough to get a player fired, boys. We're going to talk about it tonight.
I'm so tired of being tired. I think I've said that probably 10 times in the last year. This is, look, man, if you really wanted to, I'm just tired of being objective. And I'm not objective, first of all. Let me first, like, don't worry. Like, I get in my feels. I get in my feels and this and that. But I'm just tired of, like, oh, this game got to, like, and if you really wanted to, if you looked at this game against the Patriots without the context of what the Panthers have been for the last 8 years, 6 years, whatever the number is, right? In the context of that, like without the context, should I say, you should say, oh, man, the game just got out of hand, right? Is like you march down, you march down the field, you catch a touchdown, you're coming off of a shutout.
Yeah.
Oh, you miss an extra point. Then I think we got a 3-and-out. I have to go back and look at the game book.
We did. We started very strong. The polar opposite of the Arizona game, where everything went to hell in a handbasket super fast. We got the touchdown on the first drive, got a 3-and-out our first defensive drive, and Tony, the wheels just came off.
Right. And without context, this is the way to look at this, right? Without the emotion, without the hyperbole, is to say, man, is like the shit just got out of hand. You missed the extra point, you make a stop, but then you get a punt return for a touchdown. All of a sudden, this other team didn't do anything and they're winning. And then another punt return, and then it just kept, it was a snowball. And that is the truth. This, like, in this game, that is the truth. And maybe we should try to extract ourselves from the context of the pain and the hurt that we've been through, right? Because that second quarter, 3 touchdowns, we don't do anything. It just was like this got out of hand. But like to what CK said, he woke up, he's like, oh, I can deal with this. I can look at these things. I don't look at the sky is falling, this and that. This felt like week 2 against the Saints last year. Yeah. Where it was like 5 turnovers. Like, it was just like,
well, no. It was week 1 was the bad week. And then we played against the Chargers the week 2. Okay. And that was our home opener. And that was when it just felt like Bryce Young. I don't think he threw for 75 yards.
Game. Yeah, I was at that game. Bryce Young was benched after that game. And that was really like the turning point towards what Canales wanted for the team.
And so objectively, I want to say it's a fucking terrible Sunday where no one should get any credit, any problems. But I'm telling you, the collective pain it really feels like I'm in a abusive domestic violence relationship to where it's like, this is no longer that you just had an outburst. This is no longer where, oh, you just got drunk and got a little above your ahead of your skis. That, like, oh, he's not really like this. The Panthers are not really like this.
But Tony, I
really feel like now I'm like, they say, Cody, and I'm gonna turn the mic to you. They say that the domestic violence, like, it could, like, leads to death, like, on the 9th time. Like, there's 9, and like, it's like you couldn't extract. Like, we're on the 7th.
But Tony, I feel like
to where somebody is get murdered at the end.
But it's less like we're in a single abusive relationship, but more and more like we get out of one abusive relationship and then get into a whole nother one, get out of that abusive relationship, then get into a whole nother one. We just have the worst luck. And tonight we're going to talk about the longevity of both of the coaches, Dave Canales, our head coach, Ejiro Rivera, our defensive coordinator, and Panther fans are already asking, is Dave Canales on the hot seat? Terrible play calls early in football games, moving away from what the offense does effectively. Then you have this defense, and we're going to get into it. We have some of the lowest graded linebackers in all the NFL, and now we're talking like this is easily the worst linebacking core in the history of the Carolina Panthers. It's embarrassing, man.
Oh, do you long for the days of Tyreek White? Think about this. This is, we are leaning into the abuse, but I don't want to overreact. But you know what we don't do is tell people how to fan. And I'm going to say this is, I know that anybody can say, oh, it's not because of this. It's not because of this. Give this. You can give me all these different reasons. But guess what? This league, and it's not us on this podcast. It's the owners. It's the GMs. It's the fan. It's everywhere. They don't have the patience. They don't have the patience. And so while we're trying to have patience, is right now you are sitting here looking at this as the sky is falling. The Carolina Panthers lost 42-13, and they did not lose against the Buffalo Bills. They did not lose against a team. And really, you're looking at every moment for this team to step forward, to find a way. You're looking for the coaching staff to step forward, to give you something. And it's not a W. We don't ask for a lot. We truly don't ask for a lot. I think if this is a 24-17 loss to the Patriots, we're not up here going, Canales needs to be fired. Bryce Young, question marks about Bryce Young. This, that. It's like
a 40 burger.
It cannot be worse. It's like, like, we're going to give you grace. And you're like, oh, well, guess what? I'm going to show you. I'm going to test you. I'm going to test to see how much grace you got. And boy, the grace is running out even among the Panthers coach and staff.
Then on top of that, to go up against a Charlotte native at quarterback, for him to rush for a touchdown and then hit the Superman on us, bro. It's like,
and dude, I don't even dislike him for it.
You're already, I know, I love it. And dude, he said in an interview that Cam Newton is one of his favorite players of all time.
That's his favorite player.
That's who he grew up being a fan of. He was no longer a fan of the Panthers after they got rid of him. So, dude, it's like we were already down. We were already bleeding. But then it just unzipped and just peed all over our face with our mouth open, dude. Just absolutely abysmal, man.
Look, I know the internet can be extreme. I know that we can get in our feelings. And I actually think we kept it together. I was like, I started losing at the end of the post game where I was like, throwing stuff a little and just like, I'm just so sad.
You look like you wanted to cry.
I did.
One
I
of the
think
comments said, "I've never seen y'all so dejected," or something along those lines.
I understand asking us for patience, fans asking like our commitment, our where with like all of these things. But when y'all gonna get that grace? I don't know. You're listening to the C3 Panthers post-game show. Smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the podcast. We need you before apathy becomes apathy to keep rolling. We've been rocking. We've been rolling. We had some momentum, strangely, and despite of starting 1 and 2, we're adding subs. We're adding super fans. We're doing all this.
We are up 125 subscribers. Bro, we love y'all so much. And listen, if you go to the last postgame show, literally all the comments under the video were, dude, the Panthers suck, but at least I have the C3 Panthers podcast. Thank you for the therapy. We are here for you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you would like to, man, even consider dropping a super chat. Like Loud Pack Luke says, start Hendon Hooker. Oh no, boys, it's already begun. And then VR the Hope Dealer says coaching changes must be made. It's embarrassing.
One more plug,
brother.
One more plug on how you can help the show is after the live broadcast. It can't be live. You can go to past live broadcasts. There's a new feature. If you like the podcast, then it gives you this new option. You got to swipe on the comments and you can hit hype. So hype the videos, and it kind of pumps the algorithm. But I'm going to ask you guys to do something for me. We're going to go around. Hi, I'm Anthony, and I'm a Panthers fan.
Hi, I'm Cody. I'm a Panthers fan.
Hi,
Cody.
I'm disappointed, and I'm a Panthers fan.
Hi, ZK. It's your therapy session. Let's go. It's free therapy for you. No copay needed. Copays are welcome. Panthers battle the Dolphins for the bottom of the barrel supremacy. That I don't even know what the bottom of the barrel supremacy.
Yeah, who is the supreme disappointment?
To the center of the earth.
Who is fighting to be the very bottom of the barrel? And listen, as you see in the thumbnail, Tyreek Hill, he may have broken his leg, but he seemed pretty happy to be leaving that football team. If y'all saw what happened to him, I do not know if DJ Johnson shares that same enthusiasm. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But we were informed today that the Panthers have released outside linebacker DJ Johnson on Tuesday as a pair of moves. Johnson, a former third-round pick, started last week's game against the Patriots when outside linebackers Patrick Jones II and DJ Wonnum were inactive per release. And boys, just to give you guys a little bit of context, the Panthers used the 2023 third-round pick, number 93, and the fourth-round pick, 132, they received from the 49ers in the Christian McCaffrey trade to move up with Pittsburgh to draft DJ Johnson. He was the apple of Ejiro Evero's eye, this is from Julian Council, trading away Christian McCaffrey, and then using 2 of the picks he received to trade up for a 24-year-old project edge rusher who cannot rush the passer or set the edge. Is about as bad as team building can get. Boys, DJ Johnson looked absolutely abysmal. What do we make of DJ Johnson?
You get in this, Cody. I sent you a video from Gabe McDonald too of what's DJ Johnson. If you could pull that up, CK, your thoughts on DJ Johnson and the context of all of this misery.
So when the history of the Panthers of the past, since the release of Cam Newton, you guys got to keep in mind, we've released Cam Newton for nothing. We didn't get anything for Cam Newton. He was under contract. We released him. He went on to do his own thing, right? We then get rid of Christian McCaffrey. which in the moment was very painful, but also like we felt like we got a significant amount of picks for a guy who had been injury prone and continues to be in the league, to be fair. No matter how incredible his talent is, he's has been injury prone. So in that moment, we got like a significant amount of draft picks, and we're like, okay, that compensation seems fair. We got the salary off the books, and we can do a lot with these picks, right? And then we get rid of Brian Burns for a second round pick, and DJ Moore for Bryce Young, and basically the first overall pick. My issue right now is ultimately this: that trade for CMC was valuable, and now it is paid zero dividends.
Yeah.
There has been nothing we have gained from the trade of Christian McCaffrey. Not a single individual thing was acquired in that CMC trade. We basically are getting rid of our superstars for nothing. Right now, there's an argument to be made that we did the same thing when you look at Brian Burns, and guess what we used our second round pick for when we had Brian Burns? Jonathan Brooks. That feels as though it is not paying dividends. Okay.
Nope.
Now
that one is on the bench.
We talk about the DJ Moore situation, who, by the way, still, even though he may not be their number one wide receiver anymore, because Odunze is actually doing a crazy good job over there in Chicago, he's still a great wide receiver. We traded him and a first round overall draft pick that ended up being Caleb Williams to the Bears in exchange for Bryce Young, who arguably is not going to be a franchise quarterback. And many people would argue that there's not an argument anymore, that it's pretty clear that we're year 3 and he hasn't taken the steps in a consistent way to make it worthy of even considering a 5th-year option at this point, right? What I'm telling you all of this to say is I am so tired of trading our best players for draft picks. I am done. I do not want to see us next time somebody says we're in a bad season, let's get rid of JC Horn for a first round and a second round. Until I can find that we can draft and actually develop players, I don't want to get rid. Okay, how about this? I'll trade him for another player, right?
Yes. Yes.
I am so tired of trading for the possibility of a guy who can contribute. We need to start trading players for players until we can draft efficiently and we can see that play out on the field. We need to stop this. This is absolutely ridiculous. And this was the dagger in the heart talking about the CMC trade, but it's continuing. It just feels like we are in absolute misery and hell constantly because we have made it just feels like we have been digging a hole every single time we make any moves, and it just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And there's nobody up top throwing us a rope or a ladder.
Yes, and see, tonight we're going to talk about more than just Christian McCaffrey too. We'll be talking a little bit about Brian Burns, who's doing well right now to say the least. But listen, Tony, you had me bring this up from Gabe McDonald, number 52 on your screen. Try to keep your lunch down. Yeah. Because, dude, he's just whiffing every single play.
Just didn't set the edge. No. Go ahead.
Yeah, missing. It's like the tweet that Julian Council put out. He's a big, strong guy that doesn't set a physical edge, can't rush the passer. It's just embarrassing. And then now we're talking about Ejiro Evero. Because remember, this is the guy who Ejiro Evero really wanted. You could literally see Evero on camera, super excited when we moved up to draft him. They thought this was going to be a real contributing member to this team for a long time to come. And the fact that you've just outright cut him, guys, I don't even mean to add further insult to injury, but now you have to put it into context even further. So if you're looking at the screen, this is from 2001 to 2025. All of those names in red that are scratched off are no longer with the team. Look at that 2003 draft.
Where's Jamie Robinson when you need
No
him?
Jamie Robinson, no Jonathan Mingo, no Mingo Bingo for us here on the
thank
C3
God.
Panthers podcast. And now no DJ Johnson. Bro, this is, CK, you made the point. We do all of this trading of our players for draft picks. Yet it's fair to say, with so many people in media asking if the Carolina Panthers are maybe the most untalented team in the NFL, we are one of the worst drafting teams that there is. And it continues to show when we have such a young team and really not a lot of high-end talent to show for it at all outside of maybe J.C. Horn and Derek Brown. It's embarrassing.
I agree with CK with a lot of this. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. The idea is like, oh, we're going to get this. We're going to get that. This player. Those players have not played a snap in the NFL. They haven't done shit. They haven't did like Christian McCaffrey. I don't even think Brian Burns is. Look, we're going to get to him later as being the NFL sack leader, this and that. I'm taking a contrarian view on DJ Johnson here with you guys, though. Is that, look, last week we shut out the Atlanta Falcons. They fired a wide receivers coach. You know what? The fall guy for this game was DJ Johnson. And yeah, you can show me these plays that he did, and he sucked in those plays. He didn't set the edge. He bit this and that. But I'm going to tell you this, is that, and then other people can be like, oh, you drafted a 24-year-old defensive end.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 24. Well, you know what? You drafted a 20-year-old defensive end in Brian Burns, and it took 6 years for him to become Brian Burns. Right. So, like, I think that we can use these numbers and these moments too much. I'm actually going to defend DJ Johnson right here.
Oh.
No, I'm not defending his play. No, I'm not defending his play. I'm not saying that he did not play, that he played well. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this, is that these mugs cut his head off. They sacrificed him because he was the sacrificial lamb for also a million other mistakes. And here is why, is that DJ Johnson may suck. He may not be good. You may not have done all of those.
Sure.
And look, yes. Is there culpability for double E, Ejiro Evero, for selecting this guy? But you know what he was doing? He was selecting a guy on a team that had nobody that had any. And rest in peace, Joe Riolano. This is my didn't have no ass, right? Like he used to always say, is that Alvin Kamara was Christian McCaffrey with some ass. He used to have to say this, is you need an offensive lineman that got some ass in him. So this defense was tiny. They were getting run over, and you had to make a pick. And you were trying to make a defensive pick in the second or third round, whatever it was. Yes, did they trade up for them? You didn't need to trade up. I always think that these teams, I go back to the Devin Funchess pick, is you could have gotten Devin Funchess without trading up. I am not big on overly trading up and when I say overly trading up, trade up into the first round if you want somebody. Trade up and make a big, pull your thing out and lay it on the table. But if you're just moving up 6 picks and that guy's not there and you're like, oh, there's some chatter, this and that. But here, I believe that DJ Johnson, because we're so upset, and we shouldn't be. I'm not celebrating his play. Please do not get that wrong. But DJ Johnson was barely making the roster going into this season already. He was like the 3rd string, 4th string player. He was not getting any snaps in training. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was not prepped for this moment at all. They did him no favors for the last 3 years. They didn't believe in him. They pushed him into the corner and they said, you know what? We drafted you, but we don't believe in you. And so I will say this, is that DJ Johnson should be cut. He should have been cut before the season, probably. But they used this moment to save their own heads, their own fucking heads, because you know whose heads is just as culpable are Dave Canales, Ajira, all these guys. You know what? They're all at fault, and they just like, oh, we're gonna show that play and be like, he didn't execute. Well, you know what? You didn't give him any reps. You didn't.
They didn't give him any reps.
A developmental player, this and that, and they didn't develop him. They didn't believe in him at all after year one. And you know, it's just an easy look over here. Yes, let go. I'm not gonna lose any sleep.
It's Joe Brady of the defensive line. This is the same thing I said about Joe Brady when the Panthers fired him all those years ago. So they needed to save face to show that they were trying to do something about this defense.
Yep.
And DJ Johnson was the scapegoat. But Tony C.K., let me show you what's even more worrisome. And it pisses me off that we didn't rip off the Ejiro Evero Band-Aid while we had the opportunity to do so last year when you had Robert Saleh on the market to potentially be the defensive coordinator for the Panthers. Look what's even more worrisome. This is PFF. They ranked all of the defensive players for Carolina. DJ Johnson wasn't even the worst defender. Not only that, there are 3 linebackers that graded out worse than him. Yeah. DJ Johnson was 15. Princely Human Mullen, who we've all been excited about, number 16. Trevin Wallace, looking
we got a lot to say about that.
Number 17. And then the guy who was literally wearing the green dot helmet for the Panthers, receiving the play call, Christian Roseboom. Just absolutely looking, no, that's fine, looking abysmal. And this shows you someone else that we could have had, a Carolina boy, Peyton Wilson, went to NC State. He was a member of the Wolfpack. Steelers linebacker Peyton Wilson reached a top speed of 22.48 miles per hour on his chase down of Jordan Addison, the fastest speed by a linebacker since 2016. Wilson's tackle ran 61 seconds of clock that helped the Steelers seal the win in Dublin. This is a Carolina boy.
Oh, but Luke Kuechly doesn't know anything about linebackers.
He was training with Luke Kuechly. He was in our backyard. You know damn well that we had scouts that went over there, and we don't draft our Carolina guys. This on top of Drake May absolutely shredding our defense. Someone who grew up a Panthers fan, was from Charlotte. Dude, it is so bad in Carolina right now. If you're a Panthers fan, which if you're watching this, you are, you should be furious at Ejiro Evero and Dave Canales for letting this shit get this bad.
This is arguably the biggest stain or question mark coming to Dan Morgan as a GM. My final thing I want to say about DJ Johnson is that all the things that anybody that says a true fan, that tells any fan that they're overreacting to something, like, oh, we're on the podcast, you're a Bryce Young hater, you're a Dave Canales, you know what I'm saying? Like, is whatever it is that you single out and you say, you don't love you just picking on this. You know what? This coaching staff, this organization just singled out somebody. You know what I think they should have done is stuck with these mugs straight and said, you know what? We had a fucking bad week. If Dave Canales really meant that shit, this is on me, then why is it that's the problem right there? DJ Johnson back to third. Princely, you're moving up. I think you ask that the world, the internet, ask us to do things and give grace that the people that own and run the organization don't do.
Yeah, I didn't know, to add insult to injury.
DJ Johnson I'm the only person. You know what? DJ Johnson's mother loves me right now.
But if I can add insult to injury, the Carolina Panthers, through 4 weeks of NFL football, have the least amount of sacks in the NFL at 2.
I want to know how bad that is in comparison to the history of the NFL.
It's really bad, TK, because last year we had the worst defense in the history of the NFL, and somehow we had more sacks than the Atlanta Falcons did the whole season. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, CK, I'm guessing if we track down these stats right here, historically, this is no bueno. No bueno. And it's not surprising, to be honest, because you're missing look, we're always missing somebody. We're missing somebody. But I will, going back to CK's point about the draft picks, the compensation, we always get hyped. This is the thing, is we get too caught up in the seasons of the NFL and not what matters, because you're like, oh, Dan Morgan won the draft. Do you remember when everybody's like, Scott Fitterer won the draft, moving, shaking, making trades, doing all of this, accumulating picks? Well, it doesn't matter if none of these motherfuckers do anything. And and I said it on this podcast, it's not like, look, clap about me, is it's really hard as a defensive end. If you're not Julius Peppers, it's really hard to come into the league and make a difference. And we're sitting there going, Scorton and fucking Human Nealon are going to just dominate. No, like, these mugs are going to learn a lot of lessons. And you know what? They're lessons.
And then thrive with other football teams.
Maybe. But you know what? It takes time. There are certain positions that pan out early. Running back pans out early. Wide receiver can pan out in the first couple of years. Yeah,
but Tony, I've also seen so many other defensive ends for other teams come out and impact players almost immediately. Almost every defensive end, every defensive end at the Pittsburgh Steelers draft ends up being really fucking good. My main concern,
no second round defensive end, just fucking
Tony, my main concern is that we are drafting good players who have their talent literally flushed down the toilet while they're here, only for them to go somewhere else and thrive with another football team. They learn all the hard lessons here in Carolina, then they get out of the dumpster fire, and then they go and thrive somewhere else. Case in point. So we'll get to some of these now.
This is not a case in point. This is a way down the road. And let me just finish up on this, because I have been consistent in my position about this. There are certain positions in the NFL that are hard. You can be a great player. You can be a great talent. But they're like, the transition to the NFL is a larger learning curve. Like, if you're a fucking standout back, like you got the explosion, you got this, like, it's the only thing that's the real problem is the blitz pickup. Other than that, it's like instinct, fast. You haven't gotten clocked in the head yet. You don't doubt yourself. You hit the hole, you blast. Running backs translate quick. There are certain positions that translate quick. Defensive ends, unless you're among the elite of the elite, and offensive tackles also among the elite, you can be a great player. You can be a great player in this. And what I would say is that a lot, and to your point and supporting your point, Cody, is that these guys can be great players, but you are thrusting them into not positions, but you're asking and expecting too much. And this is when I would say, like, this is where CK and I both were like, why is Jadeveon Clowney cheap signing? Why wouldn't we keep him? Because then you could bring Scorton in, you could bring Prince, but you are relying on these. And then you put us in this internet generation of now, and move on. And that's not the case. It's like they can be good players, but you're putting them in positions to fail.
Well, yeah, go ahead, CK, and then I'll make my point.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about this ever since we got rid of DJ Johnson. I thought it was the most ridiculous decision to get rid of Jadeveon Clowney for no reason. Like, unless Jadeveon Clowney needed to be let go because of other reasons beyond their desire to try to play the younger players. That was just
it wasn't money, was it?
Don't let Kev here. He'll never shut up about it.
No, we're not.
I remember when it happened. I said that was kind of like a decision that didn't make sense to me, even in the slightest. It didn't make any sense. It was no logic that you could point to as to why you got rid of him. That was regarding like, okay, we want to get these players some playing time or anything like that. Like, listen, I get that, but at the same time, like the dude costs nothing.
Nothing.
Like,
League, it's like vet
But
minimum.
boys, I have to push back a little bit here. Do we really think that Jadeveon Clowney was going to make some night and day difference to this defensive line right now?
Yes,
come
he
on,
wouldn't have
dude.
bit on
The
that.
problem-
He wouldn't have bit on that play.
The problem that we have is that we have a terrible defensive scheme. We're running this abysmal 3-4 defense.
It's not a 3-4. We run a nickel every time. We
Whatever,
don't even run a 3-4.
We always have these standing up outside linebackers. They don't rush with their hands in the dirt. Dude,
Right.
we're
Well, I
always
do agree
run-
with that.
we're
We got
always
no
running
dog.
this. We run this abysmal zone coverage. We don't let JC Horn follow the best wide receiver on the team. And what's more important, we have a Giro Rivero not able to cultivate and grow the young defensive talent on this football team. When I just
We
showed
don't have
you that,
any depth.
when I
No, we
showed
don't
you
need
that,
we don't need to cultivate
we
this
have. Yes, we
team.
do.
We need
Yes,
to
we
brill.
do.
We need to bring these pups up and we need to raise them into dogs.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But
Tony.
we're like,
You
hey,
have to
here's
take
some
these
pups. You got to
players
run with
and
the
build them
wolves.
up. But you were just saying that DJ Johnson never got enough reps. They never
Yeah,
put
he
him
didn't
out
have
there.
any. He didn't
So
have any
why
practice
is that?
time.
Why is that? Why is that?
They gave up on him. They never believed in him in the first place. And then
Giro
they put
Rivero
him
has
out
the
there
final
in this
say,
game, and they made him a scapegoat. And
Okay.
fine,
Doesn't
I didn't
Giro Rivero
necessarily
have
want.
the final say on that though? He has to have the most culpability
I
on
don't
all
think so.
of this.
I don't think he's the final say on
Dave
this. I think
Canales
that
even
everything
refers
is
to him.
falling apart. And who else are you going to fire? Who are you going to fire? Are you going to fire? You going to fire Canales? No. Are you going to bench Bryce? No. Are you going to bench? Like who are you going to do? You're going to pick this guy that you barely gave any love or credit or belief to, and you're going to say, you know what? We did something. That was the headline. The headline I read, the Panthers.com, it said 2 players released. And then I saw all the fans going, Nick Scott and Roseboom. Nope. But like this, it's a sacrificial lamb. DJ Johnson was not good. I'm not saying he was good. He wasn't the problem.
That's what you and I are. We're agreeing on this. What I'm saying is that our defensive scheme and our defensive coaches are the main source of the issue. When we do draft young, talented players, we let them just meddle and until they end up going somewhere else and being good on other football teams.
I think that's a scapegoat.
Before I go to the next slide, CK, you want to welcome, if you will, a brand new member to the C3 Legion.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we have a brand new C3 Super Fan Club member. Tyler Sky has decided to grace us with his presence in the club. Welcome to the club.
Yes, sir. Shout out to VR, the Hope Dealer with the 199. C3 Bomb says Rivero keeps the same lost look as Canales. Terrible. He is terrible. Everyone knows he's terrible. We should have ripped off the Band-Aid last year, but Dave Canales didn't have the balls to do it. Aki Lutz with the 499 Love Bomb says it doesn't matter who we have draft or have for quarterback. We have an organization and culture problem. Dude, I hate that because then it's like we've been through so many different head coaches. When are we going to root out this parasite of this culture issue that we have in the locker room for the Carolina Panthers? I, for the life of me, don't understand it. And then going back to my earlier points, look, we are the worst linebacker room in the NFL right now. And look at our boy Shaq Thompson over there in Buffalo with the best coverage grade for a linebacker this season with a 91.4. And then I want to get y'all's opinion on this, CK, Tony, and I definitely want to hear from the chat. How about Brian Burns? Right now, Brian Burns is the sack leader in the NFL. Now I'm gonna hold.
Why he's a sack leader?
I'm gonna
It
hold
only
off.
took 6 years. Think about
Yeah.
this. It's
And
6
he has a
years.
badass defensive line with the Giants.
Yeah, and that's good. And he was a prospect. That's gonna like this is where y'all draft nuts get too nutty, and you're like, oh well, we got all this. You're gonna be great. You're gonna be yes, they will be, and they can be. We overdraft players, and not the Panthers, the NFL. It's like, oh, we're gonna draft this, and this is where I'm so terrified. I'm gonna keep. I'm not gonna get on this, but it's like, are we gonna get back into the hell of a new quarterback, a rookie quarterback, this and that? You overdraft and you think it's going to fix. And all of a sudden, guess what? These mugs, you draft a kid, and I think the NIL may be good for the NFL because now an offensive lineman doesn't come out when he's 20. He comes out when he's 22 because he's making loot. Right. And that is, I mean, look, I don't think Brian Burns is the best defensive end in the league.
No, I don't. And by the way, I have some highlights of him up here on the screen. Listen,
he does clean up some shit on that line.
Evan, did you see my tweet about it?
I did. And listen, I agree with it. I agree with it.
I am not a hater, but what I'm telling you is that something that has always been my criticism of Brian Burns, he does not convert speed to power. The man does not have a bull rush. He has all these pressures. He has 5 sacks right now, which is the most in the NFL. But, dude, he's on a line with Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence. They have a really good defensive line with the Giants. So he's really kind of cleaning up a lot of the leftovers that the rest of that D line is sort of,
Beating
he would be great in this defense, though. He would be great. He's a 3-4 defensive end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But remember,
or whatever. Everybody calls him outside linebackers. I don't call them. He's a defensive end. He shouldn't be playing like that. He is speed.
Right.
But this also, but you're gonna tell me you drafted him when he was 20. You're gonna get 10 years out of him. This and that. Now he's gonna hit his prime. But by the way, the Giants suck too. And I'm not. Is he a $235 million player?
No, not at all.
I don't look at him like that.
What I will say is this, though. Kudos to the Giants for being able to put him in a position to get the most out of him. And Tony, this is what I'm trying to tell you. We have such a problem with the Giro Rivero constantly trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
He doesn't like Jeremy Chin. He doesn't like
he had no idea.
Who's the other guy? Frankie
Louvu. Yeah. He had no idea how to properly utilize these incredible players that end up going to another football or to another defense and looking much better than they do. This defense is a problem. And I'm sorry. Now when you look at what happened last year, when you look back at the defense giving up the most points in NFL history last year, and for them to not be any better this year, bro, why did they not fire Rivero when they had the opportunity last year? Tony, you remember when before we fired Ron Rivera, I said you need to rip off that Band-Aid early rather than let it fester. Well, this is what I'm talking about, man. Ejiro Rivero should not be leading this defense right now. And the amount of trust that Dave Canales has in Rivero to just leave it to him, it's honestly embarrassing.
Is the defense the problem?
No, but it's I think
awful last year, bro.
They were awful. I still don't. I would. The problem is that it should be significantly better than it is now.
We have an offensive head coach.
Yep.
His second year with Bryce Young. Right? Yep. We went and gave him a first round wide receiver.
Yep.
Top 10. XL's not playing. I understand that this defense was the worst in the history of the world last year. It was terrible. and CK and I are both on the same page. It's been bad for a minute, and they had ways of telling us that it wasn't as bad. You can change the stats. It's been bad for a long time. Defense did not have the juice, the talent, but we knew we invested in the offensive line. We put the picks in there. We got an offensive head coach, and this team gave up ridiculous points on special team. I mean, not points, but yards. Their punt returner had 148 yards on 2 punts and a touchdown. They put up 3 touchdowns. The New England Patriots had 203 passing yards. They had 203 passing yards. They had 104 rushing yards. This Panthers offense was not good either. So I understand that the defense, I'm not sitting here trying to celebrate the defense, but we went into this year and Cody, the middle of the screen, was like, look, the defense is going to be, if they could be in the top 20, we're good. We're going to get 28 points. This team got smoked, CK. And I know the defense stinks. I know we can look at the DJ Johnson. I feel like it's too easy to look at the defense and just say they're the fucking problem. If the defense was good, this team would be winning. No, the real problem is that the whole fucking thing stinks. And this offense ain't doing nada, bro.
No.
And
I mean, it's not doing anything. And yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that there's a failure across the board, but right now the thing that has been the most right now, you can't really put a tremendous amount of, I mean, maybe you can, but yeah, I still think that Dave Canales deserves an opportunity to be able to, show this, the fan base, show the owner what he can create with an offense that has more than a year and 4 games old, right? Ivero has had over 2 years of being one of the worst defenses we've ever seen in Carolina. And that's coming from a situation where, like you said, the defense hasn't been good for a while, even before that. And somehow Ivero came in, supposed to be the savior to turn meddling talent into like world beaters.
And you were the one that said, it's like, why is he here? Like, this is the time. But what I feel like now, like DJ Johnson is getting this. Look over here, DJ Johnson. Look over here, Jiro Evero. I think we got to start looking at this Panthers offense too.
Yeah, we have to. And listen, from top to bottom, even if we did start to fire a bunch of coaches, this dude is still at the top of the organization. And a lot of people really wish that David Tepper was not the owner of the Carolina Panthers, but C3 Legion respectfully hope in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first. David Tepper is not going anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere. This is
and
the
he is
thing I've ever heard.
He is 37 and 83 since buying the team in 2018. So we know he's not going anywhere. But, and I alluded to this before we started the show, Tony, this is from people on the internet, and of course, we don't know where the sources are coming from, who it is, and why. But Sir Per Source says something to monitor. Head coach Dave Canales' seat is very hot after the horrific 42-13 loss to the Patriots. Owner David Tepper is not pleased with how unprepared the team has looked. Dave has a chance to turn things around against Miami on Sunday. So that was actually about to be my question. What can Dave Canales do to save his job? Because if I can give you a little bit of a throwback, once upon a time, it was being talked about that Jerry Richardson was going to fire Ron Rivera, and then that gave us the birth of Riverboat Ron. Could we potentially see something like that? And before you answer, shout out to our new member, Tyler Sky, with the $10 love bomb. Says Rivera will be gone within 3 games if the defense doesn't improve. DJ Johnson was used as an example of, hey, Avero, you keep not wanting to play the young guys. Let's see how the guy you wanted, DJ, does. And look how that turned out. Thank you, Tyler.
Look, inevitably, all these mugs seats are hot. Inevitably. Like, I mean, look, it's been losing and losing and losing, and you get into this cycle of losing, and the patience, the this and that will not work. Like, it just can't. And it can't. Like, I mean, and I would even, we can be critical about owners being too trigger happy or something like this and that. But what has shown, right? Like, what, like, give me some, are you showing up at work on time? Are you, like, where is the proof, even though the results aren't there? Like, where is the proof that the pudding could be made later on? So inevitably, yes, Dave Canales is on the hot seat. Everybody's on the hot seat. Ejiro Evero should have been fired. And I actually don't mean that, like, if I talked to him face to face, I wouldn't be like, you should be fired. I don't think that's, like, fair. But, like, and we're thinking in the context of things is that you moved on. You had the worst defense. We're trying to reset things, this and that. Like, I mean, it makes sense to do that. And this is the highest pressure. And you know what? I'm not going to feel bad. You know what? I will look at him and say, you should have been fired. I don't think you're a bad coach. I would shake his hand and say, I don't think you're a bad coach. I think you had problems with the players, whatever it is. But guess what? You made $5 million motherfucking dollars. So my bad for making your feelings hurt. I can barely look. I got $8 left at the end of the month, motherfucker. So don't make me feel bad about this. But of course, Dave Canales is on the hot seat. There are a million reasons you could say. Actually, there are no reasons you could say keep him. This is, if you want his seat to not be hot, you got to win a game.
Yeah.
That's it. You just win one game, and then you win one more. If the Panthers finish 6-7 wins, I have a reason to say, oh, happy, smiley, Ted Lasso, motherfucking beautiful coach or whatever. I want to keep you. Like, I don't want to blow everything up. I don't want to reset everything. I don't want to do those things.
Yeah.
But if you want this seat to not be hot, I'm sorry. It's unfortunate. But y'all motherfuckers got to win a game. And then another game. And then another game. And we need, what, we got one win right now?
We have one win.
I think if the Panthers don't get the 6 wins right here, I think it may not be the right move to fire him, but I think it's reasonable.
Well, I was trying to put up a poll in chat. It's not letting me. But what I was wanting to put forth, well, I mean, it should let me do it. But what I was wanting to ask was, is it a good idea to fire Canales mid-season? Or do you give him the rest of the season? Do you give him the rest of the season to, one, show how he's capable of rebounding, and then 2, what good does it even do you to fire him in the middle of the season?
They say getting ahead in the coaches. Who's
going to be the interim? Yeah, but it's like you had last season to do that.
To get ahead in the coaching.
Right, but Tony, last year you had Ben Johnson, you had a bunch of other names that were out there that were, big names that, you could reasonably see as the next head coach of the Panthers. There's not a whole lot of name value out there that's waiting to be scooped up in the coaching market. So
week 14, week 15, week 6, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like this, CK, this idea. It's like you got to fire this person right now to make a statement to the rest of the coaches. that we're ahead of the coach. We got to get the first coach, the first person. We're so desperate and so thirsty. It's like our wife cheated on us, and now we got to find our next pop. No, I will say this is I do think there's a point you realize that you're not going to be with these people anymore. Right.
Yeah.
And if that's week 12, if it's week 14, but I want them to suffer in our fucking misery a little. And you're not, what are you going to lose 2 weeks? No, come on. Make these guys either shit. Actually, that's not the right shit or get off is not the right analogy here. But no, I really don't want to reset. I truly don't. I don't want to reset completely with a coach and a quarterback. You may have to,
sure.
CK, but I don't think firing them in week 6 just to make us happy or sad. I think it would make me more sad, and that's and I will pass the mic to you, but that's where I'm mad about the DJ Johnson cut. Is DJ Johnson, yeah, he sucked, but he's not the fucking problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree that it's we're not going to be able to point back to this team and say DJ Johnson was the reason that we lost these games.
Yeah,
I do think that being the age that he was and everything, I think it would have been fair to be able to see some movement in the right direction with him, and it didn't feel like he was really doing anything to make this team look like a better team, and that's where my
they should have cut him before the beginning. They should have cut him before the beginning of the season.
Cut who?
DJ Johnson. They didn't like him from the beginning.
Well, yeah, but remember, at that time, you let go of Jadeveon Clowney. You needed depth. You needed bodies, and you needed this guy to come in.
Now we had the worst loss. We had the worst. It was we're trying to save Bryce Young's job. We're trying to save Dave. I don't know what we're actually trying to do, but it's DJ Johnson's the problem. And I don't care if this motherfucker's on the team. What I do think, and I will, and let's go to the cat calls after this, but I don't, CK, do you think that it's better to fire, if you're going to fire not CK, we're not firing CK. If you're firing Dave Canales at the end of the year, right? It's going to happen, which I don't know if that's the right move or not. I don't even think it's the right move. I don't know what to do, but is it better? I think it's worse to do it in week 6 than it is in week 12.
Right.
And does that mean let these mugs live and learn together? You know what I mean? I feel it's are we gonna cut Dave Canales' head off just to cut his head off? Because Dave Tepper owns the team. And this what really irritates me. I listen to on these worst losses, I go and tune into WFNZ, which by the way, Colin Hoggart, love you. Best mug ever.
Yeah.
Hung out with really good dude. I love these guys at but I don't I live outside of Charlotte. So I don't just listen to Charlotte, right? But in the worst of times, I'm I gotta listen to this. And people are coming after Dave Tepper. They're how do we get him to sell the team? You can't get him to sell this. Sorry. No. There's nothing. We got this motherfucker.
Anyone who said that is just dreaming. We're not getting a new owner anytime soon. Ask the Washington Redskins, Commanders, whatever, how long they had to deal with the
racism thing on them.
What I'm saying is it doesn't matter.
Friday.
Right, but it doesn't matter what happens. There is nothing that a fan is ever going to do to get rid of the owner. David Tepper is here for as long as he spent billions of dollars on the Carolina Panthers. The only thing that you can hope and pray for is that eventually he nuts up and decides to hire a real leader, someone who isn't afraid to be an asshole, who would tell these
Like
players
Harbaugh.
that they are not implementing a standard that is indicative of winning football games, and that more is required. I'm tired of these Boy Scout fucking head coaches that are so cutesy wootsy and nice and
He
shit.
might be good though. We don't even know. He could be
Whatever,
good
man.
last
They're
time.
not.
Might just
They're
take
not
him time.
motivators. Between Matt Rule, Frank Reich, and Dave Canales, none of them put any bass in their voice.
We need
There's-
Mike.
there-
We need
there's
Ron
no
Rivera
fire
throwing the
in
F-bombs
any of them.
72 times.
I figured out the poll, by the way. I put, should Dave Canales, does he deserve to get fired mid-season? Right now, 78% say no, there's no point.
Yeah,
mean,
no,
I
it's
agree.
'cause
Yeah, there's no
it
point.
won't help. I agree with that. Cody, take us into the cat calls, please. The
Let's
number's
do it, man.
The number's 252-228-5098.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
It's Josh again. I don't usually do 2 calls, but there's some more things I really needed to expand upon here.
You missed his first one, Tony.
There was plenty of us who thought that coming into this year, that this wasn't the year. Like, yeah, maybe the team could make a little noise, maybe things could be exciting. But anybody expecting more than like a 7 to 9 win season this year was out of their mind, right? Between all the young guys, the fact that there's still players who we know aren't good just floating around on this roster. DJ Johnson is one of them. We know that there's guys who just aren't going to be here next year. Austin Corbett. There's no way in hell that they bring him back again after another injury, right? I think next year is the year where they really expect to start competing. And now we would like to see things point a certain way now, but I don't think that that's what they're looking at. I think they're looking at it as, let's get the roster as young as possible with guys who are good. And you can't say that the young guys aren't good. We've seen flashes, which is, at this point of this rebuild, that's enough. Seeing flashes is enough until you're as a team ready to make the collaborative next step. You don't just make that next step that quick. And I mean, well, it does for this team, it does for that team. That's fine. That's their story. That's not ours. Those teams might have already had kind of hidden treasure, or they got lucky in the draft, or etc. Got to let this process play out. I don't think Evero is part of the long-term plan for that team. If I could be quite honest, I don't think he's part of the long-term plan. I think they left his contract in place, and the idea is from top to bottom, like, let's pay our dues, let everybody's contract run out, and then we'll be at a good point. We can actually make solid assessments going forward versus we're tied to all these decisions of the past. Next year is the year where we've got to really make the decision on Bryce. Again, next year is the year, I believe.
I'm ready to make that decision now.
Genuinely competitive football team. I don't think it's this year. I just don't think there's enough pieces there. The cupboards are still bare. The depth isn't there yet. And we go, the draft. You can't fix depth team-wide like this in one draft. It takes 3, maybe 4 to really fix a team that was as empty as we were. And I'm out of time again. I'm not calling again. I love you all. Keep pounding, man. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, Josh. Look, man, you make a ton of great points there. My biggest fear is, and I alluded to this earlier, CK, I'm worried that we're ruining talent. That we have guys here that are really good, but the Panthers just don't get the best out of them. I'm worried about Nick Scoreton. I'm worried about Prince William Mellon. And again, I don't think that PFF is the be-all, end-all of who played good or whatever, but my thing is that when we've seen a trend of so many other players leave this football team and then play the best football of their career away from the Panthers. Yeah, dude, that's worrisome. That's a concern to me, and it should be to everyone. You know, you mentioned Bryce, so we'd have to get this, going so that we can make a decision on Bryce. Dude, I'm sorry. Y'all can call me a hater all you want. I've seen enough. I don't think that Bryce is the answer for the Carolina Panthers at quarterback. I just don't. I don't see enough arm talent. I don't see enough accuracy. I see a lot of shiesty footwork, him throwing off of his tippy toes, pretty fairly consistently. Boys, we drafted a 6'5" wide receiver, and Bryce Young continues to overthrow him and put the ball behind him on crossing routes. Like, it's getting to be a bit much at this point.
Right. But I think that it's fair to say that right now, would you agree, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield might be in the top 10 as far as quarterbacks in the league right now?
Yeah, I mean, they really do look that way. They're in the perfect spots.
So how it's going to look if Bryce Young leaves the Panthers and he also turns into the guy in another location, similar to how Drew Brees took going to New Orleans to actually look like he was a Hall of Fame level quarterback as well, right? I'm not saying Drew Brees looked as bad as Bryce Young has the first 2.5 years, but like when you look at that situation, I mean, you're talking about curses. Like, that's right now, I think it's fair to say that year one of Bryce Young, we can't put much on him. I agree. Like we all can agree that year one, while it was horrible, like, who did we have on the team to justify giving any type of criticism to Bryce Young, having gone through what they went through with coach changes, things like that, right? Year two, you have a new head coach, you have a new offensive scheme. You got Xavier Legette, Deontay Johnson, who turns out to be one of the biggest busts to ever have happened to the Panthers. All of these things, right? And so you could even make an argument year two that Bryce Young had some growing pains to get through, because I would almost argue his year two is more likely going to be indicative of his rookie year. Right. And we saw the end of the year last year and he turned it on. This year, no excuses. Like, I don't care if I said the same thing about Matt Corral. Okay. This is the thing. I said the same thing about Matt Corral when I said, listen, you can't continue to make it, even though it's fair to say Matt Corral is playing on the third string in preseason and he looks horrible because he's playing with horrible players, right? It's still, you have to do something with what you have. And if you're not showing it with what you have, you gotta, you can make the excuses all you want. Is it fair? No, but you have to make a choice to move beyond somebody if they're still not showing something after 3 years in the NFL, no matter what the situation. And right now, here's the thing, is I'm not even prepared to say he doesn't have the arm talent. I know that your argument is going to be that. I've seen plenty of throws where this dude had incredible arm talent. They aren't using it. Like, for whatever reason, either he is deathly afraid of throwing the ball down the field, or they're afraid to throw, like, they just don't have a play call that's going to have them getting open down the field. Secondly, when are we going to talk about the fact that they aren't putting the burner that we have as a wide receiver on the freaking field to allow Bryce Young to throw the ball down the field?
They're saying that he should play this Sunday against the Dolphins. And before you go, Tony, I wanted to highlight this comment because, people on Twitter sort of know me as the Bryce hater, but it's not being hater. I believe I'm fair on Bryce. I'm not saying that Bryce is the worst issue of the Carolina Panthers. I'm not saying that he is the main issue. What I'm saying is every single game now, Bryce is pretty much leaving meat left on the bone. He's missing receivers. He's inaccurate. He's not putting the ball on the money. And yes, is the offensive line good and was it good last Sunday? No, dude, it wasn't at all. No one's saying that it is. But I don't think it's too much to ask for him to stop overthrowing his 6'5" wide receiver who is open on have-to-have third and fourth down scenarios. It's not acceptable from Bryce in year three, and you have younger quarterbacks in the NFL right now who are making bigger impacts than him.
I'm going to be the nicest person here to Bryce out of the group. And I'm like tired of not being able to evaluate Bryce.
I think we.
And what I mean, like, is that we had my favorite Cam Newton. Yeah, come on back. It's Tuesday night. We got to talk about Cam Newton. And people be like, "Oh, he's not accurate. He can't throw. He don't got enough touch. You don't." But like, I knew. I was like, this is my guy. I ride with this mug. Like, I feel like the problem, it's not even Bryce's problem. It's like every week it's just something. And this week, how about this? Is the Panthers just fucking gave up 3 touchdowns in a row in the second quarter. And like, how can you truly evaluate Bryce? It's always something. It's always, it's the defense. It's always the special teams. It's always this. And I just don't know what to think about him.
But I also feel
he's just not my guy, and he's not my guy. Like,
So
he's not my guy and not my guy. And like, I don't believe he will be the topic of the conversation until we believe in him or we don't. And I think that he has been put, yes, you like, does he have players around him? Does he have these bad? Yeah, like all those things. Now there's this new thing that's come up on Twitter is like, he can be a guy, but he's not the truck that drags you through the line or a truck that.
But nobody ever thought that's what he was going to be.
So tired.
Nobody ever thought.
What I believe.
Nobody ever thought that he was going to be a Cam Newton, that he was going to be a Josh Allen, that he was going to be that level of player. But Tony, I don't like this idea that in year 3, after 3 years, that we still are not able to properly evaluate Bryce Young. If you're never going to, if you haven't seen it by now, when are you ever going to see it? And by the way, boys, I'm not the only one that's saying it. An NFL scout says Bryce Young has been awful amid the team's 1-3 start. He looked uncomfortable in the pocket, struggled to see the field, lacked anticipation, and failed to be consistently accurate. An NFL evaluator said via Jeff Howe, I don't think he's the guy. From an article published on Tuesday, The Athletic's Jeff Howe spoke with the coach, an executive, and a scout who have studied Young's performances. One of those evaluators mentioned that Young looked uncomfortable in the pocket, struggled to see the field, lacked anticipation, and failed to be consistently accurate as Carolina dropped 3 or 4 September games. I don't think he's the guy. A different evaluator said about Young. In 2024, Canales was in his first year as a head coach when he took a risk and benched Young after he played poorly in the Panthers' first 2 games. Young eventually returned to the lineup after interim starter Andy Dalton was sidelined with a sprained thumb after a car accident. Young then completed 61.8% of his passes for 2,104 yards with 15 touchdowns and 6 interceptions across 10 consecutive starts. The first overall pick of the 2023 draft also rushed for 223 yards, 5 scores over those outings. That said, Young hasn't been able to build upon his positive play from last season, according to Pro Football Reference. He ended week 4 ranked 29th in the NFL amongst qualified players with a 36.3 adjusted QBR, 29th with a 77.1 passer rating, and 27th with a 60.4 completion percentage. Among qualified passers, Howe added, Young ranked 30 in expected points added / dropback, ahead of only Titans rookie Cam Ward, Joe Flacco, and Jake Browning. Dude, it has gotten so bad.
Is in the same conversation of Jake Browning. Bad news.
Very bad news. Also,
I don't
Tony,
think this after this last game, though. I know you can say he overthrew. He did
a lot.
There are the you can throw.
You can't. I wouldn't say a lot. I mean, you can't say a lot.
I would say a lot.
You saw 3 times, but they were big times.
Somebody put on Twitter
that
he
have scenarios.
That's what I mean. I agree with that. But you can't say he did it a lot.
I'm so tired, CK, of just not knowing how I feel about him.
Right.
You know, like, I mean,
I know how I feel.
I don't have, I'm not against Bryce. Like, I want him to succeed. I don't even think he's terrible. I don't think he's good either. I don't know.
That's the
Like,
thing
it's
is right
just-
now he's below average.
Can we
He's just
agree
pretty
on
much
this?
yeah.
Can we agree on this? He wasn't worth everything that we gave
No,
up to go to
100%.
number one overall to select him. Like, listen, we literally could have stayed, not moved up, drafted Jalen Carter as defensive tackle that year, and then next year we would have had our choice.
Justin
We
Herbert.
would have had our choice of Drake May, Charlotte Kidd, or Jaden Daniels, or Caleb Williams.
But Cody,
all three of them
hold on.
are better quarterbacks.
Here's the problem.
than
Here's the
Bryce
problem,
Young.
Cody.
Answer.
Here's the problem, Cody, is you and I both know this organization was we as fans, hindsight is always going to be 2020. We can sit here all day and say this is what we could have done. This is every single draft has those moments. It's the most ridiculous thought that we should have gotten Jalen Carter and hope that we could have gotten somebody the next year and been high enough in the draft, right? But the problem is like none of those things are a guarantee, even if Jalen Carter was coming here, right? How do we know we would have used him effectively? How do you know that this dude would have been an impact?
Also, but you're not drafting a 5'10" quarterback who weighs 190 pounds to be the savior of your offense.
I don't even care if it's the savior.
him.
I just want him to be. I don't even have a position on him. I don't like or dislike him.
Well, that's the issue. Is like
I've seen enough. I feel like I've seen everything I need to see.
I'm like,
about Bryce.
it's always this. Every fucking week, it's the defense didn't do this. The punt return, and this is true. The punt return, like, I mean, look, they put up 3 touchdowns. We gave the guy had 148 yards punt return yards in the second quarter, I think, with a touchdown. 148 yards. You gave up that. Like, I never feel like this. We have an opportunity. It's always gonna be like Bryce don't got weapons. Bryce don't this. I don't know how.
Isn't it tiresome?
It's exhausting.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
I
it's
don't
like,
have an opinion. I don't love, like, or dislike this person.
Can we agree with this?
I don't want them in my life.
Boys, can we agree with this? 1-15 on the road is one of the most abysmal quarterback stats that you will ever read. Look at the players. Look at the players. Look at the players that he shares company with. Ryan Leaf, Patrick Ramsey, Brandon Whedon, Joey Harrington, Blake Bortles. Yeah, hey,
it's just exhausting. Like, he could be this. It's just exhausting, and it's so like this is what we have. This is what our life is. Our life is this. Is it doesn't matter if Bryce Young's good or bad. I knew that Cam Newton was a dude. I knew it. I just fucking knew it. And I could listen to these stupid ass they used to call them Ford F-150 people. They'd be like, oh, he's got a low percentage passing. I think this is wild now that you're looking at the worst quarterbacks in the league now, and they have 60% passing. But they ain't got no fucking yards. They ain't got no difference making. Like, I don't dislike or like Bryce Young. That's it. I don't even have
I hear you. But just like you said, Tony, I'm tired of doing the thing of, oh, well, all we have to do is just put more pieces around him. And meanwhile, we spent the last 2 first-round picks at wide receiver. By the way, we also have the most expensive offensive line in the NFL. Oh, hey, by the way, we have not one but 2 1,000-yard rushers, and it's still not enough.
Rico Dowdle is
But
No.
Cody, this rushing attack has been abysmal too.
Right,
We
but
can't.
all right, but shouldn't that also be on
Canales
Canales
in this
for
loop
not
of
being able to run the ball more consistently? Yeah, 100%.
I think it's that, and the fact that this offensive line took a step back. The fact that our left tackle that we drafted in the top 10 is among the worst left tackles performing this year.
Is he?
Of any? Yes, he's recording the highest, the fifth highest pressure rate allowed, I think, in the entire NFL by this guy. Yeah, Ike Ekwonu. And then you have Robert Hunt being gone. You have the Austin Corbett, while maybe a net positive. I don't know this year. I'd be interested to see the PFF on Cade Mays this year. Like, the internal pressure was ridiculous. Like, the run games cannot, for all year, have not been able to get anything going whatsoever. Like, there's been a few big pops, but for the most part, you're running the ball, you're getting 2 yards. Like, we were getting 5, 6, 7 yards constantly last year, and that's not happening this year. You do have wide receivers dropping wide open balls. That has happened multiple times. Bryce Young has overthrown people, but
again, in the dirt, he's doing this. It's
Bryce Young has not been a difference maker.
Example set, and this is where I'm gonna finish this, and you can lead into this slide. Is like, there's nobody that I've just wanted to buy their fucking jersey. Like, this is my dude that I believe in. I don't care what y'all say, what the one bad game, what none of this. I don't believe in, and I'm not trying. Actually, that sounds terrible. I actually don't. I don't believe in any of these motherfuckers. And I'm sorry. I mean, that might be rude to say to their face. And it's not like, look, I can't do it. I can't go out there and do what you guys do. That's not what I'm saying. Is I knew that there were players on my team at some point that I was like this. I don't care if the defense sucks. This motherfucker's awesome. I don't care if the wide receivers are dropping shit. This dude's awesome. I don't care if the offensive line sucks. This dude, I don't believe. And it's not I'm rooting against them. I don't disbelieve in them either. I don't disbelieve in Bryce. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that like, oh, I don't think you can work. I'm not trying to say that. But I don't wake up in the morning and go, oh, we got blown the fuck out. We got this, and that. And this is my guy still. Every single motherfucker. I'm like, I don't know.
And then you have to also ask the question, like, what is it going to take for any of us to feel that way?
Cam,
like there are certain, you're going to be hoping for a long time. But listen, then you have stats like this, right? Where, in comparison to other teams, it isn't that abysmal. But then you see that he has the second most batted passes. I
don't even get down with batted passes.
11% of his
Baker had all those batted passes, and he's doing just fine.
Yeah,
but
literally,
passes
only Michael it is a problem. Only Michael Penix has more batted passes at the line than he did. Did y'all see that play this Sunday when Bryce literally threw a ball into the face mask of the defender? Like,
I heard one person say this, Cody. I heard one person say it was not a batted pass. He threw it into his face mask.
Yeah, that's literally what it was.
I think he can throw into the windows. I don't think it's any of that. I think the problem is it's everything.
Defenders know, but here's the difference, Tony. Defenders know, and I mean, this is a general rule if you're a defensive lineman, but if you're not going to be able to get to the quarterback, get your hands up. Get your hands up. And everyone knows this.
Back up yard.
So this is a problem for Bryce because that's going to continue to be an issue for him going forward. But and see that a lot of people who still believe in Bryce Young, then they will point to stats like this. And this is so fucking weird to me. I need someone to explain how this is even real. But this is offensive 3 and outs through week 4. And the Panthers are only hovering at around 20% 3 and outs. Whereas you have a bunch of other teams on the other end of the spectrum, like Philadelphia and Minnesota, who are way higher than we are. So it gives certain people, what I would call some false hope that this offense can do some things correctly, that they just need some more talent. What I'll say is this. I am very interested to see what the presence of Jimmy Horn Jr. is going to do for Carolina this year.
Change everything.
We do not have the speedster on this offense right now like a Jimmy Horn Jr. That matters, and we need that now more than ever.
Yeah. I can tell you what this means, by the way. This is basically what we've seen all year, which is they can move the ball down the field to the 50, 40, 45, 30-yard line. And then what happens is we get a penalty. It almost is if you go look at all of our failed drives, I would say the majority of them end with us having gone. We maybe made some production, got down to the other end of the field. There was a holding penalty, and then you're putting the ball in Bryce's hands because of it. And that's making this look like it's, again, I'm not saying he's the savior. Or sincerely, at this point in time, I think no,
he's not.
It's
bro.
pretty clear
that
he's going to be basically Jimmy Garoppolo, right? That's all you can really hope for.
The issue is this: is the Panthers. I told you guys this over and over. We started in week 1. We gave up points early. Week 2 is even a better example where you had your best fight against the Arizona Cardinals. You spotted them 10 points. The team, talent-wise, in all of these questions, is just not good enough to give people an advantage. They already have an advantage. They're better. They have better teams. They have better quarterback. They have all these different things. The Panthers, and I will defend Bryce on this. I'll defend all of this. Is the problem with this? I mean, this game just got out of hand because it's not even on the defense, and it is. Everything is on everybody. But they started on like the 40-yard line, our 40 line, every time. We're not good enough to be like that. We're not good enough to make those mistakes. So look, Bryce Young isn't good enough to be playing from behind. This defense is not good enough to be trying to stop teams while they're trying to come back. Like, this is the Panthers beat themselves, and they should have already gotten beaten anyway. The problem is not that the Panthers got beat. It's that they got beat so badly.
Yeah.
Because they should have lost. You make these mistakes, CK. You do this. Is like, yes, one mistake happens, this and that. But they are not good. If everything went right against a good team, they probably shouldn't win.
Right.
And they lost so badly. And so I don't think it's fair. I mean, I won't say fair. And this is where I'm just tired. I'm so tired of being tired. It's like, this isn't like, we're like, oh, Bryce Young overthrew somebody. This player made a missed block, this and that. They all fucking sucked. And they sucked so bad that they couldn't even just go out there and be little giants. You know what I'm saying? That's what they have to do. Sure. They have to go out there and be good enough to scrap a little, this and that. It's not about Bryce missing a pass. That's where I'm so frustrated about this. I don't even know what to believe. And my actual opinion is, don't fire everybody. I don't think it's the right like, it might be what's necessary in the long run. But you know what is, I don't know yet. Like, make these motherfuckers play. Make them go out there. Let them, and I think, and I know I'm the only person in the world, I don't think DJ Johnson should have been cut. Should have been demoted.
I tell you what, I'm not going to shed a single tear for him. I don't think anyone.
No.
No, but I think it was like, I think it was this is, that just makes us feel better. If you want to blow everything up, you want to fire Dave Canales next week. You want to
but Tony, here's the thing. I don't think it makes
us.
I don't think it doesn't.
It really
doesn't
make things better.
But the only thing that'll make us feel better is if CK's prediction comes true and Rivero gets fired sometime soon, which I think is 100% in the cards.
How does that even help?
Because I'm tired of. Because I think that it would change what we do defensively. It would change the amount of times that we blitz. And I think that you're finally going to start to cultivate some of the talent on this defense. I'm done with the 3-4. The 3-4 experiment has worn out its welcome here in Carolina. I need a 4-3 defense like I need my next fucking breath of air, dude.
Guess what? You're not getting that till next season, though. You're just bringing in somebody else to divert your attention.
I don't even care.
The number's 252-228-5098. Let's go next call.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm just catching up watching the post-game show on Monday morning, and I think if it continues the way it's going this year, there's really only two options that I see playing out. Because I don't think you can keep Bryce, fire Canales, and get Bryce on his fourth head coach or third.
You cannot do that. I agree with that.
And then on the flip side, I mean, I don't see a scenario where you're keeping Bryce Young, firing Canales, getting Bryce a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator and play caller, and trying to figure it out with his option coming up and him being on his last year of his contract if you pick up the option. I don't see how that just does not seem likely at all to me. What I think the only two, if the team stinks it up and they're garbage, because it looks like he just doesn't trust Bryce. They're not clicking. It's not like,
this is a
Dave
concern.
Canales' play calling has sucked balls this past couple weeks, but it's not like the dude doesn't know football or doesn't know what he's doing, because you've seen him have success. They were nasty when he was calling plays for the Bucs. That was debatably Baker's best season so far. I just feel like he doesn't know how to build a scheme around a game managing quarterback like Bryce Young. And you can blame Canales. That's really not Bryce, honestly. I mean, it's just they don't seem to be able to work it out. They can't figure it out together, and they can't click. The offense looks terrible week in, week out. So I feel like there's only two situations that can happen if they continue to shit the bed every week. And I think that's either you move on from both of them. That means you don't pick up Bryce's option. You fire Canales, get a new coach, and let the coach pick his own quarterback, so we don't have another situation where a head coach is inheriting a QB that he may or may not want. You got to do that. That's option A. Option B is you let Bryce go and then you keep Canales, because you may think, well, Canales worked with Baker. Maybe Canales can figure things out with a different quarterback that he actually wants to build a team around. But I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for words, but I feel like you can't do option C where you keep Bryce, fire Canales, get a new coach and new play calling and all that jazz. It just doesn't seem to do that. And in all of these scenarios, I'm firing Evero. I think that's
yes.
This is a great
They
call.
got to figure it out, man. If they don't, I feel like Bryce is probably gone, or both of them are gone. I don't see a world in which Bryce stays and the head coach is fired. I think it's the opposite. I think if anything, Canales will stay and try and figure things out with a different QB, and then they've just let.
This is the call. That wonderful call. Thank you so much.
Can I ask you a question? Because I put it out on Twitter. I put it on Twitter. I was responding to the Rocket NASA. Shout out NASA. But I said, what are the chances that we let Canales pick his own quarterback? Is it now a scenario where Bryce Young and Dave Canales are inexorably tied to one another? That their fates are combined?
I don't think that's the case.
So who would get the axe?
I think Bryce Young is going to be the first one. Now, I don't think he's going to get the axe. I think he'll be our backup quarterback, and
maybe a trade.
Yeah, I think. I just don't think anybody's going to trade for him. I mean, to be honest with you, like I think he's shown you.
Pick. This is where we're getting like. Do you remember when Kyle Allen got more than like Cam Newton or some stupid ass shit?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get a 6th round pick. CK, you're saying this. Keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. I was just saying that I think that Bryce Young is the logical one to get the short end of the stick or the shaft or whatever you want to call it. Just naturally, because
is it the shaft or is it just the axe?
All of it. I think he's more likely to get everything. Yeah.
The axe and the shaft together.
Yeah,
I think
he's getting shaxed.
My thing is this though. Like, again, there might not be another quarterback available that's a better option, but there is that part of me that would want to see what kind of quarterback Canales would choose to run his offense. Because someone said it on the Sunday show, Tony, is that to me, this does not look like a coach who trusts his quarterback when he's out there calling plays. I don't feel that. So what would it look like if Canales did get his own say of quarterbacks? Now, I don't know that makes him a better play caller. I think that's been pretty shitty through 4 weeks, but I don't know. I think it's at least something to think about.
All right. And I am very strong on this opinion, is that you don't bring back Bryce with another coach. Right, like that doesn't make any sense. And I'm not trying to junk on the caller. That's what he was saying. It doesn't make sense to fire the coach, bring back Bryce, bring in a new coach. I also don't necessarily like the idea of bringing back Canales and him drafting a rookie. What I think is that if Canales, first, I think you have to make a decision at the end of the season if Bryce is going to be on your team or not next year. If he's going to be the guy that you're trying to build the team around, if you're going to continue to go, it's year 4. We're not even worried about the 5th year option yet. We can do that in a couple of months, right? So, I mean, like, you could bring back Dave Canales and Bryce Young for another year and say, all right, this is the last time. That might actually be a decent option. You bring back both of them and you just cut both of them. I don't think this, though. And when Cody, you said, let Dave Canales pick his quarterback.
Yeah, pick his.
What I would say is I would say let the GM, Dan Morgan, pick his quarterback. But he's not going to play a fucking single snap. Not a single snap. And we're going to let Dave Canales pick his bridge quarterback. Because I don't want to get back into this loop, this flat circle timeline that you always reference. Is that, think about this. The Panthers draft, they get a top 10, top 5, top 3, maybe top 1 pick at this point, right? You get your pick of a quarterback. You let Dave Canales pick them. Then they're going to make them start. Then they're going to suck. Then Dave Canales is going to get fired. Then you're going to hire another head coach. Then you're going to go, oh, well, we got to give him another year because he's got to have 2 years in the system. And this is fucking endless loop. I think if we keep Dave Canales, that means you get a bridge quarterback. I say go get Kirk Cousins. For real, like a player like a Geno Smith. No, think about a Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, or something. I don't care what you think about the player. You didn't like Geno Smith. You didn't like Baker Mayfield. But we are not going to let fucking Dave Canales pick the number 1 overall pick, fucking suck for another year, and then you fire Dave Canales, then you get in the loop of, oh, well, we got another quarterback, another coach. He's got to teach him a new system. We got to do this all over and over again. Is that you either do this, you commit to firing every motherfucker, right? Straight up, you bring in a coach who picks his quarterback. They live and die together, which I like that idea. Live and die together. You pick your draft pick. You pick Jaden Daniels. Fuck, I rock with him. I would pick Lenora Sellers. That's who I would do. I would rock with him. I would get not Kyle Shanahan. Who's the Joe? I would get Joe Burrow. Who's the other guy? Joe Burrow. The other one is there's another one that's out there that we like. But then you rock with them. But then there's growing pains with a rookie quarterback. I think in some ways you keep Dave Canales for one more year and you don't draft a quarterback.
Sure.
I think that's the answer is you go get Kirk Cousins. And I know I'm not like excited about drafting or like not drafting, but going and getting Kirk Cousins. I wasn't excited about getting Baker Mayfield or these, but every moment that we fail, we get on this podcast and every motherfucker's got to be fired. Everything sucks. Everything. The team sucks.
I hear you. It's just that Kirk Cousins is only good for 5-6 weeks until he tears another Achilles.
Fine.
The dude's 36.
But you know what?
Not fine.
We need a linebacker. We need
stability at that position.
We need so much.
Yeah.
Trade for Joe Burrow.
So
That's
much.
what I'd do.
There's only one player that
but
can save this team. There is only one player on the planet that can fix the Carolina Panthers. And his name is Cam Newton. Send it to his podcast. I'm a Cam sexual.
The sexy one calls.
And you know what? Cam goofy as fuck still. And you know what I learned is that I still learn. I love some goofy ass motherfuckers that lead everything.
I'm calling in really early. This is Chuck from Elizabeth City.
What's up, Chuck?
I've been brooding at work all day long. I've been sitting here. This team has just got me in the doldrums.
Yep.
And I look at it like this. I feel like I'm that average guy who's after the girl. And I'd say good-looking girl, but the way the Panthers are, she's not a good-looking girl, but it's the girl that I desire, the one I want to be with. And
she is 6.
And she sets me up every
hanging
week
out with 4s.
I'm going to be available at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Are you going to come? And I shrug my shoulders and no. But the minute the clock strikes 1, I'm there. Doesn't show up. And if she keeps calling me back, hey, I'm going to wear that outfit you like. You know, that processed blue, black and silver that you like so much?
It's failure.
And what do? I fall for it every time. And she slams the door in my face. I don't know what to do. I'm so tired of losing. But I can't quit this girl. I can't quit her. I love her. But it's an abusive relationship. It's toxic. And she's going to have me in counseling before it's over with. And I get tired of when the seasons suck every year. And we get lured into a draft and free agency. And we see, and I'm not only knocking Tepper, but we see Tepper and whoever head coach is and whoever the GM is, and they're on the phone. Oh, man, we got the player we wanted. We did this. Look at this. Oh, you're coming to Carolina. And then when the season starts, they ain't doing shit. I don't know, guys. I would just love to be a normal. Do you remember the days when Carolina was mediocre? John Fox.
I just want to get laid.
7-9, 8-8, 9-7, playoffs every third year. But at least even in the 7 and 9 years, 6 and 10, we were competitive. We were bitching because we were losing 2 or 3 games, we would be playoff eligible or win a division, but we lost them on 2 or 3 plays. It's not even competitive.
We were like this.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say, guys.
Do you remember the days that we were
We're
like,
all in an abusive relationship with the Carolina Panthers, but we just can't quit her.
oh my God, we didn't win back
Keep pounding, Joe.
we didn't win back seasons. Oh, we won a game 15-12. We wanted more offense. we had this battle with the Seahawks when we back and forth and nobody. It's not exciting football. We want exciting football. You know what we want is fucking not misery, man.
I can attest to that.
And
like I said, I mean, I hate that the issue I have with this loss is I woke up feeling like there was no redeeming qualities.
How do you turn it around?
Like, I just don't know. Like, I mean, it's like what the Patriots did, and this sounds so defeated. And I think that, you know, I'm with Tony after that week 2 loss to the Cardinals. Like, he's like, I'm going to stop picking the Panthers until they can show. I think I legitimately am not going to pick the Panthers to win another game for the rest of the season. I don't care how much they turn it around until the end of the year. You can go ahead and put me down for an L all the way down to the end. I know we're going to switch, you know, kind of maybe there towards the end once we're out of the playoffs, we'll go on a 5-win streak or something like that.
Not enough.
But like,
not enough.
Yeah.
Can y'all give me some credit, man? I said we were only going to win 4 games this year.
Yeah, you did.
Right now, that's looking generous, dude.
We had Jonathan Stewart on this podcast, and he talked about how the whole world was against them, how everything was wrong, and they turned it around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the whole world was against them. Like, everything was going wrong, this and that, but they had some sort of internal belief.
Yeah.
The problem, this is where I'm with CK on this, is I don't think it's just the outside noise right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's just me thinking, who gives a fuck what I think? Nobody cares. I don't even care what I think. I'm worried that they don't have the belief. Like, what the fuck? They got, and go watch Jonathan Stewart's podcast. And he's like, oh, it got out of hand. And look, he's so nice. I will tell. If anything, I would say, Jonathan Stewart, you came on the podcast. You told us about the reverse sear of a steak.
Yeah.
Love it.
Dude, that's perfect.
But he's too nice. And what I'm going to say this is like, God, are you in that locker room right now, dogging up and getting manned up?
He's a Panther diehard, bro. And then shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Anthony in the chat. He's like, every week, Stu is like Panthers by 50. It's like,
I mean, I want that. We need his heart. We need his fight in that locker room, right? We need that. Like, the only thing that will bring them out of this is that that internal fortitude that he has, right? Like, it's like, it's not just optimism. It's like, he was like, nah, everything was against us, everything, but we believe, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had that. We are now getting concerned and have been concerned for a long time. Is that, do they have, and I'm not trying to call these mugs out in their soul. I'm not going to walk up. I mean, like, I hope they have that fight. I need them to have that fire. I need them. I thought that they were going to go into New England with some confidence and some fucking dog in them. And it just got out of hand. When is it not going to get out of hand? Y'all mugs got to save us. Save us from ourselves on this podcast. You're the dogs of dogs. You're the fucking wolves. Let us little pups follow you. We need it. Please, please reach down in the soul and fucking punch somebody in the face. get a
That's what I'm
penalty.
saying, man.
Stop being Dave.
Tony, remember when I said that I'm tired of the Boy Scouts on the team? I want some mean motherfuckers, dude. And more importantly, I want them on the coaching staff. I want a coach that will get up in our players' face and tell them, why the fuck are they paying you millions of dollars to come out here and put this bullshit on the fucking football field? I damn sure wouldn't. Bro,
but I don't want them to do that. Man. I don't want them to do that for themselves. No, like I don't want them. I want them to do that because they're truly dogs.
Yeah.
Like I don't want them to be like, oh, grab somebody by the face mask just to be like, oh, I'm trying to motivate you.
Sometimes they need that though.
And Ron Rivera gave that speech and he was like, yo, man, this and that. He wasn't faking it. And so if Dave Canales is, let's keep the process, like stick with your lane. I don't want you to step out of it just to step out of it. Like if I walked up to Jonathan Stewart and I'm like this, I'm like, oh, come on, motherfucker, you missed a play. That ain't right. Like he's a dog. Like what we need is dogs to fucking bark. They need to bite on their own. And I don't need Dave Canales to all of a sudden try to be mean and mad and to terrify somebody because you know what? It's fake. These motherfuckers are men of men.
Not if it's the right person. It's not fake if it's
Derek
the right
Brown.
person.
This is Derek Brown's team. It's Derek Brown's team. He needs to get. I'm not saying he didn't get up in there, but they need to look at that fucking wolf right there.
I mean, you're not wrong. You need the captains on the team to be able to do it, but you need the leadership from your coaching staff to implement the right kind of culture. And through 3 head coaches in a row, Matt Rule, Frank Reich, and now Dave Canales, there is zero energy on this football team provided by the coach.
It doesn't need to be fake. Who was?
No one said it needs to be fake. I want that real, bro. I want the fucking real. The problem is David Tepper doesn't want that kind of coach.
We don't even need the coach. I mean, yes, you need the coaches to have the fucking work, the ethic, the details, all of that, keeping them in line. We need that, right? But you don't need the coaches to be the dog. Like, yes, they're the monarchy. They're all of this. But who was the guy that was the coach of?
You like Dan Campbell, don't? But you like Dan Campbell, don't you?
I mean, like I do and I don't.
Dan Campbell will bring the best out of each and every one of his players because they want to fight for him. Right now, no one is inspired by Dave Canales. No one is inspired by Ajero Rivero. Not a fucking one of them.
Who was he was on the 85 Bears. He was the coach of the San Francisco 49ers, Mike Singletary. All right, this is Alex Smith, year 1 or 2. Alex Smith, we know, kind of like a Bryce Young player, not a game changer, kind of close to Jared Goff. Jared Goff is the best version. If you want what Bryce Young could be, the best version of Bryce Young is Jared Goff. But Jared Goff happens to be 6'4", and his girl, his beautiful swimsuit model, has the best tits in the world. Sorry,
Jared Goff has a big time arm though. Bryce don't have that.
He can't move.
Jared
like
Goff
he's
arm.
Kind of doesn't. Alex Smith. I said that Bryce Young is a short Alex Smith, but Mike Singletary came to the San Francisco 49ers. They drafted Alex Smith, number 1. They passed on Aaron Rodgers. It was year 1 or 2. Mike Singletary fucking pulled his dick out in the. He's like, "Who's a real man?" Like he overdog. We don't need the coach to pull the pups up alone. The coach needs to be so strong and cool and collected and be themselves. You're not going to go up to Luke Kuechly and pull your dick out and say, you're a bigger man. Like, Luke, we need Luke Kuechly.
But Tony, that's what we've had now. That's what we have had in Frank Reich. That's what it's
No,
that
it's
same
not the
temperament.
coach's job to do
same
that.
temperament.
I
Yes,
can
it
pull
is.
my
dude.
dick out
They
in
have
front of
no
Luke Kuechly, and
temperament
he'd be like,
to
guess
them.
what? I'm the
Tony,
dog.
the point that you're missing is that nobody is inspired to go out and give extra effort for Dave Canales. If they do it, they're doing it for the dude next to him. They're not doing it for their head coach. Everything begins and ends with your head coach. That's what any of these really good teams will tell you. If it's Andy Reid, or if it's Bill Belichick, or if it's John Harbaugh, or if it's Mike Tomlin, they implement a culture. And if the players don't live up to that culture, they're not on the fucking team anymore.
Well,
We need that type of leader. And we don't have it now.
Maybe you need your top 5 dogs, your Luke Kuechlys, your Cam Newtons, your Greg Olsons, like the guys that are the guys. They're the dogs that they believe in the coach. So the coach don't have to walk in there and be like, oh, he don't have to Mike Singletary and drop his drawers.
Can I meet you
We
halfway?
need to be men. But Luke Kuechly, Greg Olson, these guys are the ones. And I'm not saying they're not lifting them up, but is there disbelief? There has to be a continuity among the pack. And we don't have a pack. We don't have a group. We don't have a fucking... It's not Canales. It's not Evero. Yes, it's them. And maybe it's because we don't have them, but we have Derek Brown, and that's it. We had Robert Hunt. Those were our fucking pack leaders. We don't have them, and they're the ones that need to go. Dave Canales don't need to walk out there and be like, oh, grabbing somebody by the fake mask because they face mask because they look at him and be like, yo, you cheated on your wife and you wrote that chapter in your book and you just said it and you a bitch and I don't even believe in you and all of this. Like they have to do it. It has to be organic, and we don't have the talent and we don't have the Thomas Davis, the John Beesons, the Jonathan Stewarts, the this and that. We don't have the
Ron Rivera. We don't have the Sean McDermott.
It wasn't
we
Ron
don't have
Rivera.
You're gonna tell me that they all didn't play to the best of their ability
Greg
because
Hardy.
Ron Rivera would fucking chew their ass if they were not playing well enough. You're wrong, Tony.
He had Mike
you're
Mitchell.
wrong. No, you're wrong. Ron Rivera
across the top.
would get in their fucking ass when they weren't practicing hard enough. He would stop the whole fucking practice and make them huddle up and get in their fucking faces.
Because he
The
had
Panthers
real
don't have that.
Ron
You
Rivera
need both
could
of them,
do
Tony.
that.
We're going in circles. You need a coach that will do that, and you need the Thomas Davises. You need
So
the
you
Luke
think
Kuechly.
Ron
You
Rivera
need
could
to have
come in
both
here and
of
make
them.
Bryce Young? He could grab Bryce Young.
Did
by
you
his
think they would
face
have done that for Dave Canales? Did you think Dave Canales would have had all those players playing the same way that Ron Rivera was? It's a good thought experiment, but I mean, it starts with the head coach. You cannot have just any lily limp dick motherfucker out there telling them to play hard. It doesn't work
That's
that way,
fair.
man.
But what we might have is a bunch of lily lip dick and motherfuckers. You're telling me we got the worst linebacking crew. We don't tell me whose jersey you're gonna buy. Like we need a pack. Yes, you need that fucking mean. I don't even know if you need the mean.
Tony, I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm saying that you have to. All I'm saying is that you need. I disagree. You need a coach that will implement a standard.
Tell me who they are. Tell me who they are.
You mean in the NFL right now?
No,
or just out there available?
Team. It's Derek Brown. It's Robert Hunt.
Robert Hunt for sure.
It. Chuba Hubbard, and that's it. I don't got.
But Tony, you know how long I've been telling you that I'm tired of drafting Boy Scouts. I want some dudes that will fucking roll deep.
We don't have
with
them.
you.
And I know
calls
that's so sad to say. I know that I'm just a podcaster if I like ran into these people in the bar, I'd be like, yo, you gotta be a bigger, harder motherfucking dog. But you know what? You kind of do. You gotta remember you're a dog.
Why can't we
You
have
gotta
both?
remember
Tony,
you're a
Tony,
fucking
why
bad
not both? Why can't we have the players that implement that standard and a coach that will implement that standard? I think it's needed, and I think that we're both right. We don't have it in the coaching staff, and we don't have it amongst a bunch of players on this team.
All right, let's go back to the calls. Call in here if you're a big ass dick
What is
motherfucker
going
that
on,
wants to
T3
pop in
family?
here.
Greetings
Tell me
from
I'm wrong.
beautiful Idaho yet again. I just wanted to call in. I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys or hear your response in a while.
What's up, brother?
Not going to be able to listen tonight, but I'll hear in the morning. I don't know. Everybody's up in arms. I get it. They had hope. Team looked good. Now they look like trash again. I don't know, man. It's crazy to me because this roster was built this year for next year and moving on. This was a 6 or 7 win team from the get-go. Maybe stretch it to 8. That's fine. We can argue about that if you want. I wanted to know, Cody, I was joking about coming after you like a month ago about it being a prove-it season. And now to me, I'm realizing what my prove-it season is. My prove-it season is I want to fucking hear from David Tepper. That old white man told us he was bringing a winning culture to Charlotte. Same way other rich white man said he was bringing an end to 2 world wars across the country, and no one's holding accountable. So I want to hold, that's my prove it, man. I want to hold accountability to the GM and to the owner of this team and to the coach of this team who keeps talking about we just got to execute. We got to execute. Execution isn't there. Well, that's bullshit, man. You can only say that so many times before, I don't know, someone from our media has to ask him and hold his fucking feet to the fire and say, what does that mean? Define execute. Your execution of this didn't happen. Why is that the case? What are you doing to fix it? C3 needs to be on that media blitz, man. I know Cody Lash wouldn't just keep hearing that. We need to execute better. Ted Lasso bullshit speak. Man, that's my prove-it season. I want to hear from David Tepper what's gone right in the last 8 years since he brought the team. I want to hear from our GM. What have you done and what are you doing to win more than 5 games in the next 5 years? Love you guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
Hope you are having a wonderful rest of your week. Going to be a tough couple weeks if we don't win at least 2 out of the next 3 games. But hey, man, that's what 5 and 6 win teams look like. So
yes, sir. Keep pounding, brother. Dude, shout out to Idaho, man. I love that we have fans all over the continental U.S., worldwide, in the UK, man. That's awesome. This is my thing about David Tepper. And listen, I'm not trying to just continue to rehash the same conversation with Tony, but you know, when you talk about hiring coaches, this is what I mean. I believe that David Tepper continues to hire these coaches that are going to be very agreeable to whatever David Tepper will tell them to do. If there is a decision that David Tepper wants made, he will have it done because those coaches will do whatever David Tepper tells them to. Whereas, do you really think that if Jim Harbaugh was the head coach of the Panthers and Dave Tepper came barking at him, telling him, hey, I want this, and this done. And Harbaugh would be like, yeah, well, I'm the coach and I don't sign off on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Harbaugh, you're not telling him what to do. A real good coach knows that he is in charge and the owner hires the person that you want to be in charge. We have all felt as if that David Tepper has been trying to do that. But like I said, after continuing to see the temperament of all of these different coaches, I just believe that David Tepper wants a yes man. He wants a competent yes man, but those don't really exist because competent head coaches are alpha males, and they're not letting David Tepper dictate to them what they're going to do with this team. It's their decision.
Dogs. We need dogs. Let's go to the next.
Appreciate you, Kitty Lit.
Next call.
What's up, C3? It's Kyle from Spartanburg.
Kyle, what's up, bro?
And I was just looking, right? Because, everyone is always so hopeful that the Panthers can one day manage that back-to-back winning seasons because in all these years we've never had that once. But
Can we get
I was looking, and I just want to put together back-to-back winning games because the last time that any of us have celebrated back-to-back winning games was week 9 and 10 of the 2021 season. So it's been 4 seasons since our team has won 2 games in a row, which just seems completely awful. And I don't know how that's even possible. Was that the Matt Rule era? I don't even know who the head coach was. On our third.
Matt Rule may have been the best coach we've had
since firing Ron Rivera.
And then,
I mean, think about that
not
shit.
a person on this team anymore. Like, what are they doing? Because why would that Martin guy? Is his name Martin? I'm not sure who it was. Why would some Martin guy go in over Brady Christensen?
Yeah. I don't understand it, man.
Until it was not a pointless.
Yeah,
Like, was
late
Brady
in the
Christensen
game.
taking a shit at
It
that
was super
moment?
late in the game.
Somebody wrote on Twitter that they created an AI version of an offensive lineman and played him before Brady Christensen. Brady Christensen had to have been taking a shit. Like, he must have had the runs or something. Like, who is this motherfucker?
Dude, talent evaluation has been one of the biggest issues with the Carolina Panthers. They cannot properly evaluate the talent on their own football team. That's why I keep making the analogy. They're trying to put a square peg into a round hole. They have these players, and a lot of them do have talent. They just don't know how to utilize them, and they don't know how to get the best out of their players. And to me, that's a big time issue. And I've said for a long time, Brady Christensen should have had the opportunity to play left tackle full time in 2020 when he was drafted. Now he's a jack of all trades, but a master at none. He hasn't had enough time to master any one position. So then they move him all around the offensive line. And then sometimes he'll do okay, but then sometimes he'll get shit wrecked because he's not actually spending the majority of his time learning all the traits of that one position.
Yeah.
I don't know why Brady decided to come back here. I don't know.
I would tell you this. This is how ridiculous crap is. And look, I'm a little forward. Overly honest at times. Our girl, Kristen Butler, she said, "Oh my God, did you just say what I think you said, Tony?" And I was like, oh shit. I said a lot of edgy stuff. I was like, you need to pull your shit out. You need to I did say a lot of things. I was like, oh God, I was too far. You know what she was talking about? Matt Rule is the best. Think about that. I can say whatever the fuck I want. And Kristen, I love you. I love you. But and also I still love you for this. This is why I love you so much. But I've been in my fields. I was out here saying chauvinistic, do this. No, that wasn't the problem. That one weird and crazy. Matt Rule was crazy. And I agree with you, Kristen Butler. Good God. I love you. Thank God.
I do wonder. Listen, before we go to the next call, sometimes I do wonder, kind of like an alternate timeline, parallel dimension thing. What would have happened if Matt Rule would have taken the advice of his coaching staff and the scouts that wanted to move up to draft Justin Herbert in 2020. Dude, listen, imagine an offense with Justin Herbert, DJ Moore, and Christian McCaffrey. Come on, dude.
Or imagine a team that was the Panthers, regardless of cutting DJ Johnson or whatever, and we could say we had Justin Herbert. That's the thing. Is like,
I also think that Steve Wilks,
player I believe in.
I do think that if Steve Wilks was given the head coaching job over Matt Rule, I still wonder what that would have looked like, man.
I bet you this team
what that would have looked like, man.
We would not have gone and gotten our ass, or actually, our ass beat out. I was about to say pushed in, all these different things. Steve Wilks, man, commanded. He had PJ Walker. And you know what? Mad shout out to Steve Wilks. Steve Wilks is a man. He intelligent. He's the guy that you want to, Cody. Not the guy that grabs you in the face.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
He just commands the respect, because Baker.
That's what I was talking about.
Baker's over there going, oh, well, I have a little vendetta about cutting him. And you know what Steve Wilks did? He's the defensive coordinator for the Jets, and comes out in the podium, and Baker has been chirping because Baker's had some good runs since then, right? Like he's a little celebrity at this point. And I like Baker. I like that. I think your quarterback needs to have that. Grab your crutch, have a little gusto and this and that. But he said, oh, I got a little, I want to get something against them. He cut me. And Steve Wilks said, I was an interim coach. And you think I had personnel decisions? I would not have traded Christian.
Yeah, I love that.
How man of an answer. Like that was this. He just chested that.
But he didn't have to lie, didn't have to put on the theatrics. He just told the truth.
Yeah.
Hey, if it were up to me, we wouldn't have traded Christian McCaffrey. And again, man, I always wonder what could have been, how different it would have looked if we would have given Steve Wilks the opportunity that, let's be honest, he earned the right to have. Now, there's between Steve Wilks, Matt Rule, Frank Reich, and Dave Canales, nobody was able to get us to as many wins as Steve Wilks. None of them.
He's the guy that Jonathan Stewart responded.
Everyone
think about that.
Every
Jonathan
defensive player
Stewart
we've ever had loved it.
I think he remembered and mentioned this when we talked to him. But that's the kind of guy that in the depths of this, like you're not like, oh, it's a gimmick. It's not this. Yeah. He's authentic. He's a real. Don't be fake. If you're like, and that's where I thought Dave Canales was the real deal. Is I thought he was just really Ted Lasso. I don't think it was an act. I don't think this. And I think if Dave Canales starts getting angry and pulling on face masks, I learned this with Ron Rivera, is I wanted Ron Rivera to be more demonstrative in year 2. He was about to get fired. Things were going bad. And Ron Rivera, and in the words of Mick Mixon, would fold his arms over his ample chest. Right? But he would not.
Dude, shut up, Mick
on the
Mixon.
sideline.
Now.
On the sideline, I wanted him screaming. I wanted all this from him. And I learned that Ron Rivera was Ron Rivera. Like he was exactly who he was on the sidelines. And then I learned it later, because not only did he start winning, so I believed in him. And this is like, I do think he did get sucked into the Riverboat Ron stuff. Like his life was on the line. He started gambling a little bit more. I do believe that, but he didn't ever panic on the sidelines. He didn't do that. But then when I saw that, and that it actually turned out to be one of the worst losses in the history of the Panthers. Cam got his shoulder blown up. It was that Pittsburgh. We saw the Amazon, but I saw him just rifling that. Be who you are. Just be true to who you are. Don't let us influence you. But I don't want Dave Canales to change. If he truly is that, stick with it. And it will work. It may not work. It may not. But not going against it will not work. Let's go to the Hope Dealer.
CK, Tony Dunn, Cody Lack.
Oh, Dilla, what's up, bro?
Legion, General Greg, the Stat Daddy. Salute. It's the Hope Dealer checking in real quick. Hey, I got quite a bit to get through, y'all. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this all in one call.
Do your thing, brother.
He did. Don't worry. He did two less than 2 minutes goals.
37 and 83. 37 and 83.
Pull it up. Got him.
The record under David Tepper since he purchased the team in 2018. 37 and 83. Y'all, I'm 42 years old. And I've been a Panthers fan truly since '95. I'm going all the way back to Frank Wright.
Panthers fan.
You know, old school.
Let's go.
And I will say I haven't seen consistent coaching failure and play calling failure this bad for this long since I can remember as a Panthers fan. I'm old school Panthers, you know, and it's just so hard because the average margin of defeat under Canales right now as a head coach is 18 points, 3 touchdowns, 3 scores. That means we're not even competitive. Think about that. Like when we struggled in the past, you know, even some teams we had losing records, we were at least competitive in the games, but now we're just getting blown out. And it's just hard to stomach. So, yeah, this is the Hope Della. I'm going to call back.
Cody, let's 37 and 83. Like this. Thomas DeVries, thank you for being a C3 superfan. For $1.99 a month, you can help support the podcast a little bit. Many hands make for a lot of work. Support the podcast by smashing the thumbs up button, subscribing, being part of the chat, calling in. Thank you for these super fans right here. I pulled up this. I'm going to pull up the team record. David Tepper bought the team in 18. So do we count 2018? So think about
that was his first year. Yeah.
So he got 7 wins his first. 7, 5, 5, 5, 7 in 2022. 2 and 5. I almost feel like his first year, like if we put it to the mean, like this should be a 35 and 83. Like he almost inherited 2 wins. He got a little grace there. And look, the owners, I think we put too much on them and too little. Like, it's like, yeah, he has knee jerked. He has done this. He meddled. He did this and that. We're stuck with this motherfucker.
Yeah. And by the way, for some context, Tony, only the Jets are worse in that time period. They're 36 and 84.
Ooh. And they're perennially
bad. They're always bad.
This is where the saddest part of our lives comes in. And this is where we have to goes back to the apathy. Is our grandparents were not Panther fans. A Jets fan, his grandparent was a Jets fan. We're the worst. We are the Jets.
Yeah.
And we don't have the luxury of being that. I'm sorry. How do you my children. Oh, I mean, it's so hard to say this. Is that my ex-wife's family, and for a happy time in our life, you know, like it wasn't always ex-wife family, right? Like, I mean, it was a family. My son is 17. My daughter is 14. They're all Georgia alumni, right? Like, I mean, their parents went to Georgia. Their grandfather taught at Georgia for 40 years. They go like these, like my son says college football is a better product than the NFL. It's kind of hard to like, he's like the rivalries, he likes
He's not wrong though, dude. There's a soul to college football.
Nah. Yeah, they sold that. Don't worry. They sold out to the devil. Don't worry.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, maybe it's different now, but it's not wrong though, man.
But
these
their
rivalry
father, they are Georgia fans because of this lineage, right? Like this genealogy, this heritage that they have. They're Georgia Bulldog fans, right? Like college. And my son started getting into college football. My girls are starting to become women, right? Like my middle girl got a boyfriend, like stuff like this. And thank God he's a Panthers fan, right? But like, I'm sitting there going, are you a Panthers fan? And they're like, I'm not going to tell you. Like, they don't want to comment on, like, I think they secretly, and maybe because
they're embarrassed, they're too ashamed of it.
Right?
They don't have the memories of being on that 2015 run where they were just in love with this team.
And the divorce and the things that are going into it.
Yep.
Like, I'm straightly worried that they're going to fucking say I'm a Falcons fan. Like, I mean, like, this would hurt my heart more than anything because their cousin, who is not I mean, he is related and not related to me, but young kid, he picked the Falcons and they love him. Like, they're like friends, like they're tight. You know what I'm saying? Same age group, tight with them. And I was like, if you become a Falcons fan, I will fucking, I mean, I know this shit is terrible on you. I know everything, but like, I really be mad. Like, fucking be mad. But how do you cultivate
a fandom through all this losing bullshit? Yeah, it's
hard.
But also remember, on the Friday free-for-all, we would have Noah come on. He's a younger guy. We would have a bunch of these younger fans come on. But also, he would also tell us that they would go to school and that their friends would make fun of them for being Panthers fans. That's why it's like, dude, you know, like, you have diehards like us. And look, we can be real. A lot of us are doing this because of the pod. We're doing this because of the pod for a lot of it nowadays. But all these incredible fans that we have in the chat. But also, like, we have these memories that we can fall back on that lets us be like, okay, well, if we're able to get through the hard times, we can get to the good times again, and it's going to feel even better. These younger fans, they don't have that. That's why we need another year of really just outperforming expectations.
Or
so
how about
get
this?
some more bandwagon fans on the team, man. We need to build more fans.
We don't need to outperform. I could maybe get my
we
kid.
Do. With this team we have to outperform expectations.
Yes, a 10-7 win, 10-7 season, playoffs, excitement. I take my kid like that. That would help. But you know what would also help is a fucking 7-9 year.
Nah, get that 7-9 bullshit out.
No,
that doesn't make you fans. Your son, Tony. No. Your son is not becoming a fan off of 7-9. That's
But
not
we
making
have
any
not
new
lost
fans.
them yet.
You need 10 plus wins and you need playoffs before you start to get fans to really buy into what this team is doing. And David Tepper, every single hire that David Tepper has made through this point has not been it. Doesn't Hope Dilla have another call?
Yes, but guess what? None of your children are going to be Panther fans, according to Cody. I don't even want 10.
7-9, don't you shit.
But yeah, just a couple other things too with Dave Canales. And y'all know I don't like Dave Canales. I call him that cutesy play caller from Carson High School. But the other thing about it, man, when it comes to Canales that I don't understand is how can we not run the 2-minute drive or the 2-minute drill? Like, and how is it that other teams with newer head coaches can at least yield competitive football teams? Like, not being able to run the 2-minute drill, like there are high school coaches that can run the 2-minute drill.
Yep.
But hey, listen, I've given up on this team this year, but I want to let you boys know I have not given up on the C3 Legion. I will be. And I got a challenge for the Legion. The money we spend on tickets, let's take a percentage of that and give it to the C3 Legion
Oh my God.
podcast staff for this great podcast and therapy to keep it going. Appreciate you guys. Tony Dunn, CK, Cody Lack, Greg. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, Hope Diller.
And this is not easy to deal with, and what you guys do on a weekly basis, it takes so much. So I'm gonna put a call to action out there. The money that we save on tickets, not going to these games because our team suck. Let's invest a portion of that back into the
C3 super fans.
I love you guys, man. This is the Hope Dilla.
Thank you, Hope Dilla.
Somehow, some way, keep pounding.
Keep pounding. And hey, man, Katie Lit Zio was in the chat asking how to become a super fan. There should be a join button. If you're on the computer, there should be a join button right below the video. But if you're on an Android phone, you should also see the join button. I don't know if they fixed it yet, but if you're on iPhone, you have to open up your internet browser and go to YouTube on your internet browser. Don't use the app. You have to go on your internet browser, delete the M dot before the HTML.
This is how Apple is
I know.
Before
the URL, erase the M dot in the URL, go to our page, and you should be able to see the join button on your phone, and you can join us. We appreciate y'all, man.
The one way you can support the podcast is smashing the thumbs up button, hitting the subscribe, and not one way. That's two ways. Smash the thumbs button. 1, 2, subscribe. But really, it really does help us to reach new people, right? It's like, hey, I hang out with these people. That is word of mouth really builds this community, because this is a community. The people that hang out here and listen to the podcast, our subscriber to view ratio is incredible. Like, people are here because we are family. You're getting free therapy. So if you cannot donate and
hit that like, that's all you, hey, dude, that's free.
Or
hit the like,
share
hit the subscribe,
big.
share it for us, bro. And even leave your comments after the video is over, after the live stream is over.
Or hit that hype button.
Go and leave comments, man. That definitely helps us get into the algorithm more, man.
And we can steal Brian Baldinger's video. And that shit got me 200. I don't know how that happened. Let's go. Anthony. Hold on.
Yeah, we still have to do the Dolphins preview.
I know we got a lot to do. And I just lost Anthony's call. Hold on. Give me a little grace on me. Please be Anthony.
Yo. What's going on, T3? It's Anthony from Charlotte. Hope y'all boys are having a good Tuesday, man. Pretty cloudy in Charlotte today, man. Game was horrible last week. Just some quick thoughts.
Appreciate you, bro.
Oh, man. Somehow I got thrown into going to this Dolphins game this week, man. I guess my dad wants to go for old time's sake with a couple of his friends that are Dolphins fans, so that should be interesting. Will we be able to look competent? We should. Let's hope. Quick thoughts. I summarized everything last week. I was a little drunk. I was a little upset.
Well, welcome to the party.
With how this team performed. So excuse me if I sounded really angry. My profanity was bad. I'm trying not to swear as much these days.
That's good.
But let's talk about it. So what does this team need to do to regain confidence from this fan base? Well, I'll tell you what. You got the Dolphins, Cowboys, and Jets coming up. Now, I don't think we'll beat the Cowboys. But in terms of the Dolphins, guys, this is a team that we should look competitive in, right? I don't even think we're asking for wins at this point. Can we just look like an NFL team? Can we just not get blown out by 36 points? These are all the only things we're asking for, man.
Fair requests.
It's funny because we're sitting here again, and it makes no sense to me, guys. We invested a lot in this team from where this team is from 2 years ago. The draft picks, the player signings. And I just want to say it sucks we couldn't pull off Milton Williams. The dude's a young superstar in the making, a top 10 defensive lineman. Sucks that couldn't turn out the way it did. I think it shows you that it's better to have one superstar instead of like three middling of the pack players. Also, I just want to say I feel bad for my boy T-Mac, man. Much as I hate to say it, Bryce is costing this dude tons of yards. Like, there were concerns about
Tell it, bro.
And all that stuff. I think he's clearly shut the doubters up. I know Cody said it too. The dude's been wide open. Like, he has gotten a lot this season.
Yeah.
And it sucks he doesn't have a quarterback, and he's still on pace for almost 1,200 yards.
I know. I'm tired of hearing T-Mac for awesome offensive record.
So in terms of the game,
bullshit.
Can we just look competitive? I'm not even asking for wins at this point. There's too many blowouts.
Why is it bullshit?
Games at a margin defeat of 18.2, highest.
Because he had 40 yards.
Just my thoughts. Give me your thoughts, guys.
Has he even had a touchdown?
Therapy session.
He hasn't had a touchdown.
Right now, out of all the rookies, he's number 2 behind only Emeka Ibuka. And by the way, now, he's the only consistent in yard. But again, that's not his fault. He's really the only true dynamic weapon. He's the only real dynamic weapon on the team right now, and they all know to allocate all their resources over to him. So,
CK, do you really believe that he should be offensive rookie of the year?
I don't think that there's any evidence of that. I mean, I'm
not even close.
We haven't had like a blowout. Like, he's had some good catches and everything, but like, I think Ashton Genty has a better shot at it at this point, even though he's had a
one good
spectacular start outside of this. Yeah. But
One
that's
good
because he's
game.
had a signature game, right? That one game was like impressive, right? And there's nothing wrong with Tedero McMillan and his stats, but they haven't been like Jamar Chase in his first year level.
No, he's
quality.
had 48 yards, 78 yards. No, come on. He ain't had shit yet. And that cannot be, it's not his fault, and it is. You're going to give that.
No, don't do that, dude. It's more Bryce Young's fault than it's T-Mac's fault.
How about this? I will not, you know what? If you give it to any one of these motherfuckers over him, it's a travesty. It's a travesty.
Over T-Mac? But dude, the season's not over.
He does not deserve to be offensive rookie of the year.
The year is not over yet. We need a whole year to be able to accurately judge. Right now, we need fucking more. What are you talking about?
You think he should get it right now?
No, Emeka Ibuka. Right now, Emeka Ibuka is on a better team that's winning football games. So
he's having a better year.
Right now, he's on a better team. You're blaming it all on
Oh, well,
T-Mac
let's just
when
give
he has a
comeback
quarterback-
player of the
he
year
has
to
a
Bryce Young
quarterback
while we're at it.
Can't fucking get the ball into his hands.
Sorry.
It's not
He does
T-Mac's
not deserve to be offensive rookie of the year. He does not deserve, nor has he earned.
Hey, bro, shout out to Kid Zio with the new membership, brother. We appreciate you, man. Next
All right.
call.
Gentlemen, Tony Terrific, Cody the Clever. Gentlemen, would
What's
you
up, brother?
guys be okay? Yeah, I'd be fine with if the Carolina Panthers just kept losing, kept sucking, and just lost out through the rest of the finished the league with the worst record. Would you be okay with that if they drafted that kid from Indiana who's turning the Indiana Hoosiers into a top 10 program? That quarterback from Indiana, 6'5", 230 pounds, he can make all the throws, and he's carrying that team into that program places they've never been. So what do you think about that? Just losing just for the rest of the year. Because Bryce Young, nice kid, not big enough, not strong enough, not powerful enough.
I agree with
to
you,
compete
brother.
in the NFL. So what do you think about sucking for a franchise quarterback?
All right, that's your
What are your thoughts? Bye-bye.
your response, bro.
If he's there, I would support doing it. And listen, it's too early for us to really jump into this. But if the Panthers
No, it's not. It's week
if the
4.
Panthers are sitting there with the top 5, top 3 pick, and there's a really good quarterback that's staring you in the face, you absolutely have to consider it. You have to.
All right, next call.
What's up, y'all? It's Lucas from Far City. So, after this loss against New England, I've noticed that everyone's talking about Dave Canales is on the hot seat. This coach is on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
tell me, Lucas.
well, we've been talking about it's time for Bryce to go. When all this happens, let's wash our hands with Canales and Bryce Young together. I don't want to cut Bryce and keep Canales and then draft a quarterback and then cut Canales a year later in.
I'm with this caller.
And then this quarterback has to get on with a new coach.
Then he needs 2 years.
Don't want to do that anymore. Let's get a new coach and have him on his first year draft this quarterback or get his quarterback.
Great call.
Just wanted to share this.
Great call. Thank you. Let's go to my bastard son.
White chocolate, yo.
What up, Kev?
We cut, DJ Johnson, man. Yeah, this is on Ebro. This is a big indictment against him. Like, I'm gonna say it. I don't care why we cut Clowney. What did we use the money we saved from cutting him to do? What? I mean, Clowney played 23 snaps with the Cowboys in the last game, had 3 total tackles. I mean, what did DJ Johnson do?
It's $3 million.
Like what?
That's it. It's nothing.
Winning,
you saved it by cutting
this
DJ.
This time is up. And I'm just sick of it. But,
Thanks, Kev.
it is what it is. Fuck it.
I love you, man. That's my son. I don't admit it. I don't admit it. He's not my
Happy
real son.
Tuesday, boys. It's Nick reaching out from Seattle. Been a while.
What's up,
Been a
Nick?
crazy summer, moved, changed jobs, a whole bunch of different stuff. But that's not
My
what we're here to
man.
talk
I
about.
love Nick.
So
My guy,
here's
man.
the big fear I have coming into things as they currently stand. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it or if you can pull it up on the show tonight. DeMaurice Smith, the head of the NFLPA, was on the Charlemagne the God and them morning show and was talking about the owners and basically how the NFL doesn't pay taxes, how they break each team is split up into a bunch of different small companies. The owners just be spending money back and forth to themselves and just be skirting
Writing
taxes
off
and everything. I say all this because I know I can only speak for myself, but from the sentiments of a majority of the fan base is we now are one of the worst run organizations in football, just considering the sheer amount of losses we've had since Tepper took over. But not even on top of that, since Canales has been the coach, we don't just lose, boys. We get blown out. Like, our losses are brutal. We gave I think there's never a chance of Tepper selling this team unless he dies. He doesn't
Oh,
care
yeah.
about the wins and losses.
It's never
He
happening,
doesn't
bro.
care about the product on the field. Like, obviously, his temper tantrums, he does care. But at the end of the day,
Pepper
he makes
tantrums.
so much money
That's
off of this
my
football team.
that's my
I can't think of any
Sure.
reason why he would ever decide to do anything else. Like, putting in grass would cost more money for the football team. Getting better staff would cost more money. Like
Losing PSL owners is going to lose more money.
Fantasy football owner with the Panthers, and it's really heartbreaking. You know, like I bought into the delusion over the summer, like a lot of people did. You know, I got into the hype a little bit. I like T-Mac. I like seeing some of the young bulls out there running. But I mean, we're 4 games in, and I hate that we're already sitting here thinking about 2026.
Yeah.
Like, the sad reality is, even if
What we do every year, bro.
We were thinking about 2026 and 2024, which is the shitty part.
The one shining hope we've had in the past 10 years or so was Cam. And Cam was a transcendent talent. He came out of college day one, ready to ball. We're never going to get that again. And it
Thank you.
makes me so sad.
Good night, Kitty.
Send it.
They ain't never going to love me back.
I love you.
And it
This
breaks
is my
my
guy
heart.
right here. CK,
Anyways,
I'll ask you
I
this.
wish nothing but love and peace for the rest of y'all boys.
We're gonna keep pounding with the calls, but CK, why would an owner sell a team? Right, is like we saw Schneider with the Commanders. He refused to change the name. Like they don't want to. Tepper's investment. He bought the team for what? $3 billion cash. Everybody's like, oh, he brought the cash money up. He bought the cash like suitcase. Is there a moment though where we can't? There's nobody that can force an owner out, right? I mean, they make it doesn't matter if there's a single PSL owner in there. That stadium could be empty, and they make money. TV,
yeah, I mean, they're
right?
gonna. Yeah,
They-
I mean,
yeah,
there's not a lot of leverage fans have, but the reality is that you stop having fans, you have no leverage with players to want to come to the Carolina Panthers. You have it's one of these. You think that you're going to get any help with building a new stadium in the city if you're not drawing people into the stadium because you're not a good football team? No, absolutely not. If those stadiums are empty every single Sunday, then it's the Charlotte gonna give them any benefits as far as like a tax cut or any money going towards any more renovations or anything? No, it's going to be absolutely a lot more money out of David Tepper's pocket. So I think that we do need to win, and I think that there needs to be. I agree. I think that one of the things that I wanted to address was the fact that we want to move on from David Tepper and Bryce Young at the same time.
You can't
cannot
move
do
on
that.
from the owner.
Is
there any moment though, CK? Look, I understand that nobody can force. There's nothing unless he does. Look, it was so hard, and we long for the days of Jerry Richardson and Gene's Friday.
Right.
Think about that. And I'm sorry, I hope I don't get canceled for that, but Jerry Richardson, old man, they pulled out. I won't say kind of cancel culture a little. Then Gene's Friday, then he's getting old. It pushed him to sell. He did not want to sell. Is there a financial, if you are a person, if you own NVIDIA, right? Like pick a stock, NVIDIA, or which to me is a great one, is he could sell the team right now for $7 billion.
Oh, he
could double his money. Would it be wild for him to just say he's not that old? He is a little frumpy,
But think of it this
a
way,
lot
though.
of frumpy.
Yeah, but can I put it this way?
Why don't
Let
you
me
just
put
take
it
the
this way to
money
you, though,
and
Tony.
run?
But no, but because he already has all the money in the world. What's the difference between $7 billion and
$3
$45 billion?
No, he had $3 billion.
Whatever. What I'm saying is you're already
that's a credible amount
you're
of
already
money.
a multi-billionaire. But you realize
Planeteer. I had 30 shares of Planeteer.
There's
Look.
only
God.
32 owners in the NFL. That in itself is a level of prestige that no one else really has. To me, there's more value in being the NFL owner or the owner of an NFL team rather than getting a couple extra billion when you're already worth a bunch.
Well,
of
you got to
billion.
keep in mind
I feel like walking away as a seven billionaire is cool. Or bring the chaos 1996 or Planeteer. I bought 30 shares of Planeteer at $20. It's at 179 right
Well,
now.
what were you saying, CK?
And I sold it at 120. I was like, oh shit. I should have just rolled, but I just took the money. And when I said the
Nobody
money,
knows what Palantir is, dude.
what
were
it
you
is
saying,
an
CK?
AI stock. But look, I bought it at $20. I had 30 shares. Think about that. What is 30 times 20?
Yeah, but that's not an NFL team. It's not remotely near the
like
same
you
thing.
just
Not
fucking
even
triple,
kind of the
quadruple.
same
All
thing.
right, you're
It's not
missing the
even
point.
kind of.
I think this is at some point you
Would
just
you let
say,
CK finish his fucking thought, please?
So the only thing I was saying was there's two things. Number one, talking about Tepper selling the team. I agree he walks away with a lot of money, but at the same time, think about how much money he makes just keeping the team. Like he doesn't own the team and the value just goes up. He's getting paid to have the NFL team.
he can leverage, he can loan against it, he can take
He can do whatever. There's no reason for him to even come close to the idea. Like it's not a situation where we're in a if we were in a dry spell, like when the Bills sold when the Bills owners sold theirs years ago, like a decade ago. Like we weren't in the golden age of like content that we are now, where you have YouTube TV, you have Amazon Prime, you have all this stuff.
Yeah.
These prices are if there's an owner that decides to sell at this point in time, I would be shocked with the way the values are increasing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's more value in being an owner.
But I wanted to
will just stick with the stock regardless.
Yeah, but I think it's important that I address the Dave Canales being fired with the Bryce Young being either released or benched. I want you guys to understand I'm not saying this because I think Dave Canales is going to be the answer moving forward. You legitimately cannot. Otherwise, we're going to be in this exact same boat next year. If we fire Dave Canales, we are not going to attract any coaches that are serious candidates if they are coming here with the idea that they're going to have a 1 year and 6 games to be able to coach the team to try to turn it around. This team has been a dumpster fire for years. And this idea that we're just turnstile on these coaches is absolutely, even though I think that it's somewhat misconceived what it is. Matt Rule got more time than he deserved to have. He had over 2 seasons, 2.5 seasons. I think Frank Reich was always going to be a potential fire in mid-season in his first season. But Dave Canales, you cannot turn around after 2 seasons and fire him and expect you are going to be a seriously taken, but anybody's going to take you seriously as a coaching candidate. Those people you're talking about possibly coming to the NFL or coming to the Panthers, those dogs you wanted to coach, there's not a single one that would even think about coming back to the Panthers.
Fantastic point, TK. Also, Dave Canales was not on anybody's list. He was not on a single person's list. And if you are a gazillionaire, the only way to court that, because it does not affect the salary cap, is to just pay an extreme amount to a Harbaugh We did not. And I think your point was just made by the fact that we hired Dave Canales. We hired the third, fourth option.
Exactly.
Nobody took the interviews. I was just really trying to put this question out about, is there ever a moment that somebody gets older and they're just like, you know what, the Palantir stock tripled by 3,000%, and I'm just taking the money? And CK answered it. He's like, no, you just stick around in the NFL because it's just going to make a gazillion. Look, David Tepper bought the Panthers for $3 billion. And right now, with the terrible, they're worth double. He doubled his investment. Think about that. Now he's like, if he sold the Panthers right now, he would sell it for $7 billion. Palantir, spy on Americans, I guess.
Hello, this is Michael.
Look at
Weidrich.
me.
I
want you to
Michael? Just wanted to say, I just want the season to be over with. I'm done with everybody like talking about how
Cody wants this
team
podcast
is
to be
and blah,
over
blah,
with.
blah, and so on and so forth. But I just wanted to keep it short, keep pounding, boys.
All right, thank you.
Keep
All
pounding,
next-
Michael.
Next call.
What's going on, family? C3
more.
family. D, Stanford, North Carolina. Shout out to the homie Tony Dunn. To the great Cody Lack. To CK Code this. I ain't hit that CK in a minute. It really feel good. Shout out to the big three. These
Hey,
Cole and
appreciate you, bro.
Panther Fickle, my brothers from another mother. Hey, man, I mean, I want to apologize to every single one of y'all because I'm always overly optimistic. In my age and all the football I've consumed, it's kind of hard to rattle me or shake me with rocky performances. We've watched the Panthers mediocrely go into the playoffs before. I've just seen a lot with this team that I just don't be ready to jump off the side of the bank. But basically, the football isn't footballing, and there's some disconnects. But the most important thing besides X's and O's and execution is just the effort, man. That's where if you want to disappoint me, if you want to get me riled up, don't show the effort. If you want to get me excited about a loss, let me see effort. And the issue that we're having is a lack of consistency with the effort. Because I'm going to tell you now, a lack of effort brings a lack of execution. But see, when you come with fuller effort, you're in a better position to execute. Maybe they felt like they had gotten somewhere after beating Atlanta and now have been brought back to reality. But the main thing I wanted to stress to you all right now is that the fight ain't over. There's not a lot of people playing great football right now. The ship can be turned around. And I'm not here to change your feelings or anything of that nature. All I'm saying is holler at me at the end of the season. I love
hear you,
every
brother.
single one of
We
you.
got a little bit more to say. And man, that's a big ask right now. You're right. Let's turn this ship around.
If there is any two teams that we would do it against, it would be the Dolphins and the Jets, dude. They're looking just as bad as us.
Justin Fields looking nasty. But, all right.
Family, I had to come back again. D from Sanford. Shout out to the whole family. You know, I've been listening. I've read the comments while this great show's been going on. And I just felt the need to say this. And I've said it numerous times. And I've said it on different platforms. It can be rocky now, but I've been here before. I watched the Panthers back into the playoffs with a losing record. I've seen the Panthers exceed expectations when there were none. People ready to pack up the season, and then, you know, the last 6-7 games, we go on a run that is damn near historical to this fan base. Since we've been in existence, the most dominant year we had was 15-1. All right? And it took them rallying together. That roster on paper won't the sexiest. That roster won't the deepest. And we throw every problem out here to kind of justify the non-football that's going on. But basically, you're talking about a young team with guys trying to prove themselves and vets just trying to show that they can still play in this league. There is no established, just dogs yet. And when you're starting from ground zero, you get these growing pains. But I still believe in the 50,000 hours from Pop Warner, the middle school,
We need
the high
50,000
school.
more
I still
hours there.
believe that the next week is another week to be better than the week before.
We need these
Now,
people.
the part that I find interesting, let's say we go out and have somewhat of an Atlanta Falconish performance against the Dolphins and win a game. How the mood is going to shift. I won't be mad at you, but you got to understand when you're not a very great team, you can't look 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games ahead. Game by game, I tell you. And for me, I've been taking the approach the last 2, 3 years. What did we get better than the week before? The reason why I was upset last week is because I didn't even see anything that we were significantly better on or that we carried on from the week before. That's still with a young team, a young coach, guys trying to figure it out. I say it all the time. You got to learn how to win. We will learn how to win. And boy, I can't wait to party with every single one of you. And I love every single
sir.
one. If you ain't with us now,
money.
then what's the parade? And there will be a parade in the future.
Thank you, D. Thank you,
Keep
D.
pounding,
I'll let
D.
y'all
Love you,
come
brother.
now. I ain't got nothing to say.
No, I mean, listen, man, we need fans
I gotta
like
say
him
it's
that are willing
bad.
to believe through all the bull shit that this team puts us through, man. We need that, man, because those are the fans that keep the engine running during these doldrum times that we've been through, man. So shout out D Money. I hope it happens sooner than later, brother.
All right, next call. One more
All
after
right.
this.
I've been watching for a little bit. Here's my opinion. Bryce Young is not it. He's got to go. Evero's got to go. I think Canales, I think he'll be all right. It's just not his quarterback. It's what he's stuck with. And it's not all offense. There's defensive problems too. But Evero has to go before anything can be changed or anything can happen. Bryce is just too small. He's too small. I mean, name another time.
Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Hold on. Keep going.
You can't. I mean, you really can't. I don't care about the Cardinals quarterback. I think Bryce is way shorter. I think we're being lied to about his height. I would give Canales another year, let him pick his own quarterback. That's what I would do. I mean, I think the receiving core is starting to grow. I think when Brooks comes in, I don't know. We'll see. I think that honestly, Bryce is the biggest problem. He's got to go, and Evero definitely has to go. I
Yes,
don't know.
sir. I hear you, man. Look, I respect that everybody feels differently. Some people are super fans on Bryce. They feel like we need to do a better job putting players around him. And then you have people that are just thoroughly not impressed and feel like he just isn't the guy for the job. I'm one of those people. I don't hate the guy. He seems like an incredibly nice young dude. I wish the best for him. Wanted him to be successful, but I just don't think it's going to be here. And I hate that, man, because he might go somewhere else and ball out. But to me, I don't like a lot of the things that he does from, his footwork, his throwing motion. I think he misses a lot. And I think a lot of people do end up making excuses for him. But, hey, man, I'm still wishing the best for him. If we win out every game, that's fucking perfect.
All right. One last oh my God. All right. Last call, I think, right here. Chuck. Come back.
Hey guys, Chuck from Elizabeth City. I tell you what, watching this show is therapeutic, but some of the freaking people, man, I'm not going to name names. They're talking about Tepper moved the team out of Charlotte. We've been loyal fans, and we proved that when we win, we sell out. We're there. It's a laughing stock of an organization. It has nothing to do with the fans and the people that love this team. And I get sick and tired of people that just lament and come up with all this moaning and groaning shit. I think we ought to go get a F-350, find Jerry Richardson's statue, and we need to drive that son of a bitch around Panther Stadium, until it collapses. We got to rebuild this son of a bitch, guys. I'm telling you. But I'm gonna watch because it's like when you pay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God! Don't refresh the calls. That's my fault, Chuck. Damn it. Hold on. Coming back.
All right. Way shorter.
Sorry.
Hey guys, so Jerry Richardson's statue, and we need to drive that son of a bitch around Panther Stadium, until it collapses. We got to rebuild this son of a bitch, guys. I'm telling you. But I'm gonna watch because it's like when you pay over amount of money to go to a really bad movie, and there's only 3 minutes left. But
Yeah,
you
it's
paid
called
the
a
fee.
Marvel movie.
You got to watch it to the end. I'm a Panther fan, true and true. I hate what's going on. I'm embarrassed, but I'll still put my jersey on. And if you don't care for this team and ain't got the stomach for it, get the fuck out.
We're the only people, not us. I mean, like the people that listen to podcasts like this, the people that are still in, like we have to keep it. We gotta shame our kids. Like, I mean, I'm like mad, like for real. Like I'm mad at my children. Like I'm like, you have, like I'm like, what the fuck? You don't like if you like. I mean,
doing it that way, you're gonna guarantee they don't become Panther fans.
Well, a little bit, but like you can't. Wait until you get teenage kids.
It's gotta be natural, bro.
Your kid. You're right. It does. You're right. Like you can't overforce things.
Yeah, man.
But like I said, but like at the same time, like you actually need to know your teenage kids also don't give a fuck what you do. Like my kids barely even know what I do for a living. Like this and that, you know what I mean? Like there at some point you do have to drag these bitches in and you got to say you're part of this with us. And I mean, I don't know if you force them. I don't know how to do it, but it's really, I have been, and I've told you guys this for 3 years now. I've been very concerned about the generational problems that come with being a Panthers fan now. And now we're really here. The kids, dude, I teach college, and now the kids that are coming to college who are taking college classes, who are still in high school, they were born when Obama was elected. Think about that. Like, I mean, I'm teaching kids who are teaching or taking college classes a year or two early. And these motherfuckers
You're old now,
actually
bro.
very small. No, it's not about me being old. They were born when
You're old,
Obama was elected. These kids that we're trying to make to or hope will be Panther fans in 2 years will be born when Cam Newton was drafted as a Carolina Panther. Think about that shit. I'm sorry. We're getting into a point where it is bad. Cody, we got to finish this show out. Let's rock through it. Those are the calls. We don't have any other. We don't got nothing else but to do. We don't have.
So
we're facing the Miami Dolphins. Oh, yeah. Home, I hope.
yeah, we're at home. So
Thank
I'm not
you.
gonna read all of everything on one of this,
No,
but they're gonna be
don't, but
without. They're
Tyreek
gonna
got
be
fucked
without
up.
Tyreek Hill. He fucking cracked his leg. Making
How
a play
bad
on the
was
ball.
it? Did you
Oh,
guys
dude,
watch
it was
the
bad.
video? I did
It
not
was
watch
bad.
it. I did
I
not
didn't-
watch. Somebody said
I
it
just
was
saw
so
that.
bad. I will not watch shit
It
like
was
that.
okay. Listen, it was bad, but I've also seen a lot worse too. But it wasn't pretty.
I heard it was Marcus
that-
Lattimore bat.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
But
He
it
tore
was-
all his ligaments.
I heard it was broke leg. Looks like I don't want to watch stuff like that. Like if I didn't see it live,
It wasn't good.
I
It
don't
wasn't
want to
good.
go
I'll
and look
say
at
that.
it.
But listen,
He
I do
might be
think that,
done forever.
and this goes.
Yes.
Man,
There you
I
go.
don't know. We'll have to see. What I do know is this: like what D Money was saying. If you're gonna have any optimism that the Panthers are gonna turn it around, if that's something that you choose to do, it's against these two teams right here. Because after this, the schedule really starts to get tough.
I thought
So you
that's
have
what we
to do
said
it
last
against the
week.
Dolphins, and you have to do it against the Jets. And this is for a defense that's struggling as hard as ours is. This is, I hate to say it, but this is sort of what we needed. Devon A-Chain hits his stride. He's been a great rusher for all the time that he's been with the Dolphins.
And he's the fastest motherfucker in the history.
Yeah, he runs like
is
a
cheetah
4.35
speed.
or something, dude. He's insane. This is going to be a big time test for our run
We're
defense.
gonna miss DJ Johnson big time.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
we're gonna
sure.
be like this. We're gonna be
Where's
gonna be
DJ
really
Johnson?
DJ! The Miami defense, turnovers and rushing yards. They're allowing an average of 378 yards per game, allowing 404 against the Jets. So they're vulnerable.
We're gonna put
They
up
do not-
109
They do
yards.
not have a
Then.
good defense. So listen, I'm gonna keep on predicting it. I do think Miami is when Tetaroa finally gets his first NFL touchdown.
Thank
I think if it's
God.
gonna happen, I think
Maybe
it'll
he
be
will
at
be.
home.
You know what?
And I think-
Maybe we'll put him in their offensive rookie of the year conversation in like 9 weeks.
he's gonna have to have like a 3 touchdown game.
Yes.
So matchups to watch: quarterback versus secondary, Tua versus the Panthers pass defense, offensive line.
Do you want to
versus
watch
defense
this game? Is the
pass
real
rush.
question.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna watch it, but
I don't want
really-
to.
and then the running game versus Carolina's run defense. The Panthers are allowing 145 rushing yards per game, a vulnerability when you consider A-Chain's speed.
Who we
Yeah.
spotlight? Tua. Tua talking shit about Cam. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm sorry. I ain't ever gonna forgive you. He said, "You with your clicker, this and that." Get, you know what? That might be my ice up.
It's just funny because a lot of people have sold on Tua that he's not the guy that he was
He's
drafted
not
to
that
be.
guy, but he's better than
No,
Bryce.
but I'm saying it, but that's what I'm saying. If like Bryce at this point can only hope to be what Tua has been at his highest heights, in my opinion. But hey, man, this would be a good.
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard's been a workhorse, averaging 22 touches, 22 fantasy points over the last 2 games, facing a Dolphins run defense that allows the 5th most fantasy points to running backs. That's going to be awesome for us. The
What's the
Panthers are
line on this
they're-
game?
The Panthers are an underdog at
Okay.
home. The Dolphins are 1.5 favorite against the Panthers.
Okay. So
The
it's a
Dolphins-
pick 'em. This
Yeah.
that means it's a pick 'em, and it's 44.5 over. So basically what we're saying is this is, do you think it's going to be a 23-27 win, 23-20 win?
Dude,
It's a
it
20-23
depends
win. Who do you think? Do we do these picks? How many? Let's do our picks right now.
So to me, I say it depends on our defense's ability to stop Devon A-Chan. Right now, that's looking rough. I'm going to go with my original before the season prediction. I think the Panthers are going to take an L here. I think it'll be 17-34.
CK, you already said you'll never pick against them.
Yep. I'm not going to pick the Panthers. I'm going to pick the Miami Dolphins. And I think Tua is going to look like an elite quarterback against this defense. And Darren Waller is about to just light it up against us over the middle. His tight ends have somehow been able to have their best games of the season against us.
What do you think about their unis? I thought them Miami Dolphins uniforms
The Dolphins
Whatever.
have pretty good uniforms.
No,
I like
not the regular one. The color fire, whatever that's
black
called. I
one?
thought it looked great.
Oh,
All right. So CK said a L for the Panthers. Hold on.
Yeah,
I
I'm
gotta write this shit down.
I'm also saying no.
You're saying it, L. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
you know what? I fucking hate this team so much
You're gonna say
that I
W?
may help. I hate myself. I'm picking a W.
Yeah.
There's no reason to, other than my heart. I don't know why. We're at home. No cheetah.
Hey, we defended our dirt last time. Maybe we'll do it again. Hey,
Fuck,
shout
man,
out
that's
to
terrible.
Zio with the $5 love bomb. Says have to close the bar, boys. Thanks for doing this. Y'all was the next getaway. We're trying to make more shows. We will win Sunday. Weird that I'm the optimist. Shout out Kitty Lizio, my boy Alex.
All right.
He's awesome. He's been on the free for
Let's finish this sucker out. What do we got left?
That's it, bro.
Oh, well,
that is it.
Well, you know what? Your therapy session is almost over, folks. As you're listening to the longest running Panthers podcast. That's right. We do not quit. 14 years. We will take you. I will take you into the twilight hours of the day if I have to. Sub up, smash up, whatever that words that the kids say. It's time for the longest running segment on the longest running Panthers podcast. It's our time to ice up some fools. Everybody's fair game. You, me, these people, my family, a 12-year-old in Oklahoma. We're going to tell someone it's our homage to Steve Smith. Ice up, toughen up, get it together.
Ice up.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It's our homage to Steve Smith, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up, get it together. Cody Lack, hit us up.
I'm not gonna play the music.
You don't got nobody? You don't got a death video?
No, I do. I'm not gonna play the music, but dude, just the internet is undefeated. It's not really even an ice up. It's just something funny to sort of leave off on. But dude, Twitter is undefeated after Tyreek Hill broke his leg.
Was it the ambulance video? Oh my god!
No, it was Tyreek Hill on his way home to beat his wife and his 15 kids. On his way home from the hospital.
That's kind of weak.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill's a piece of shit. I don't give a fuck.
Really? Is he?
I mean, you don't remember that whole thing?
I mean, I know there's a lot of people that have been pieces of shit, man. Like,
yeah, dude, he has like
really hard to
15
think.
different allegations that he beat his wife and kids. So fuck him, Tyreek Hill. I'm happy that you're not playing. Ice up, son. Ice up your leg.
Ice up some mugs.
I am going to ice up. So there's a situation now with the military. You guys have probably heard today.
No more fat, so CK.
Yeah, they're basically gonna bring back like a high level of, a high degree. I'm trying to do the right word. They're gonna bring back the physical fitness requirements that you would normally expect from
like
a military,
a regular human being.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that are upset because they think it's like an attempt to try to get rid of women from the military, or at least in certain combat roles. And one of the things that
push-ups. I don't know what this is.
Right.
I don't even know.
Here's the thing is like, the idea is that you're going to have the most ready, combat ready, prepared military in the event that there's some crazy situation that takes place. Right. And that's the idea. And so the thought that you're going to have a military that's less physically fit so that you can make sure that one group is able to make it into the military easier because they're not normally able to pass the test is such an interesting thought that you're going to put yourself in that type of an environment where the people you're hoping are going to be able to fight in an effective way are less prepared than they should be in order to be able to do the job that's necessary. It's sort of like the way I look at it is if you're going to have somebody come and clean your house, right? But because you want to be incredibly inclusive, you decide to say, I'm going to clean everything but this room. You only have to clean this room because you can't clean as good as somebody else can. But because I really want you, I'm going to pay you the same amount to do less work and not be as effective at it. It's just not a thought that anybody has in their real day-to-day life. Why would you expect that to be the case in an environment like the military, where you should get some sort of special treatment because you're a part of a group that maybe isn't capable of passing the tests that are necessary for those combat roles? I think that the people that are upset over this, I'm just icing those people up. So ice up.
I would be curious to what the actual number is
of people that won't make it.
No, like, is it 15 push-ups?
Oh, I know.
You know what? And ice up not being able to do 15 push-ups and be the greatest, whatever. I mean, I don't even have an opinion on it. I'm just saying this is at some point it's time to be dogs. And that's where I'm going with this. I'm icing up the Carolina Panthers for putting me through this emotional abuse. All the shit that's gone down in my life, whatever. 14 years of doing this podcast. And we got to sit here and think about, oh, are we going to do another coaching hire? Are we going to do another this and that? I'm tired. Do your 15 push-ups. Do your Dave Canales. Like, what? I don't even know. I can't take it. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And the Carolina Panthers have made me sick and tired. I was at this place today, and this guy said, oh, this guy's got a booth here. His uncle is the punter of the Atlanta Falcons. I said, the Atlanta Falcons suck. We smoked them. I said, oh, shit. We suck. He said, I'm a closet Panther fan. I'm tired of this. I'm so tired of being sick and tired. Please, Carolina, we've rocked this community. We've been 14 years of doing this shit. 14 fucking years of trying to be friends with people, build this, whatever this is, therapy, whatever you want to call it. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. So my ice up goes to the Carolina Panthers. Guys, come on this podcast and tell me to man the fuck up. Come on. Tell me to come up in here. Oh, toughen up, ice up, get it together. I'm telling y'all, that's it. My name's Tony Dunn. This is the C3 Panthers podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. We're here every Tuesday night. Thick and thin, a lot of thin. It's been a lot of thin, but we're a brotherhood. We're a family. The people in this chat, we thank you so much. Cody Lack, my brother from another mother. My wheel, man, take us out of here.
C3 Legion until this Friday when we do the Friday free for all at 7 p.m. My name's Cody Lashley. That's Cody Allen. That's Tony Dunn. C3 Legion. Keep pounding.